And they drop the puck in, and this first game on the Norris final is underway. The Toronto Maple Leafs and the St. Louis Blues. And starting for St. Louis, Brown and Butcher, they get the puck, but they don't hold it very long. Pearson comes in for Toronto. He's in back of the net and out front, trying to jab it in. The Leafs go after Curtis Joseph very quickly here in the first 28 seconds.
Well, you had to wonder a little bit whether the Leafs could get themselves geared up after being on such an emotional high in their overtime 7th game win over Detroit. They start off Pearson after 2 line changes, one by each team on the fly, and Curtis Joseph makes 2 stops. Not really difficult ones, as Pearson didn't get all the way around the net. Joseph handled it with a lot of poise.
Andy Van Hellemond is the referee in this hockey game. Swede Knox and Ray Scapanello are working the lines tonight. This is the man everyone's been talking about. No, not Van Hellemond. I'm talking about, of course, Curtis Joseph. 2 shutouts already in the playoffs. Taking the puck behind the net is Jeff Brown for St. Louis. Starting out slowly, the Blues, they play that disciplined game. Won't see them taking too many chances going in deep. At least not to start the game. 3 of them are in there now, and the puck rolls into Potvin. Knocked away from the crease by the goaltender. Andrechuk trying to get it out there for Cullen. The puck goes over the glass into the crowd. As we mentioned, Andy Van Hellemond, the referee in the hockey game. Knox and Scapanello the lines. He stopped 136 of 140 shots against Chicago. Curtis Joseph did. He had a hot finish to the regular season to boot. Felix Potvin was 2-0-2 against St. Louis in the regular season with a 1.19 goals against average. And he was solid in that 7th game, in the heat of the 7th game against Detroit, so he should be ready for anything now. Janney, number 15 for St. Louis. Hull, 16, McRae, 17. That's the line for the Blues. LeFay dumping one in. Gilmour is coming in there for checking, but the Blues will methodically bring it out. Pass to center to Hull. He couldn't hang on to it. Now Hull gets set. Here's a shot. That's blocked. Hull, he doesn't miss the net very often. He turned and whipped it right up Potvin. Anderson comes in there for Toronto. Gilmour there with him. Now McCown, the defenseman, up on the play. Knocked it back to the net, and the Blues are going to clear it. McRae against Anderson, and here's Janney. They want to get on. It is dumped into the Toronto zone, and McCown back to the net. Andrechuk fired a pass to his own line. Is LeFay to center. In on the glass, and Joseph up to stop it. Here's Gilmour. He was in to steal it. Bill Berg going after the puck, but it's shot down the ice. Just missed the crease. And that'll be icing against St. Louis.
A lot of line jockeying by both coaches. Burns wanting to make sure that Bob Berry doesn't get his choice of checkers against Gilmour. It'll probably calm down as the game goes on. Gilmour has proven all year he can play against anyone. Regarding the 7th game, overtime victory Saturday to eliminate Detroit, Pat Burns says, good people, not just good players, find a way of winning in any competitive environment, and others create ways to lose.
Face off to the left of Curtis Joseph. No score, just past the 2-minute mark of the first period. Peter Zessel, not done fairly once again. They'll drop it into the left of Curtis Joseph. Zessel has Berg and Osborne on the wings. Ellen and Rouse are the Leaf defensemen again tonight. Pat Burns has gone with 5 defensemen for this hockey game. They wave them out. Swede Knox. Now Zessel comes back in, so he'll be okay. Shanahan for St. Louis. Zessel won the draw. Back to the line. Rouse gave it away. He's closing in with a shot. He missed on the short side, not by much. Into the corner. Toronto really taking it to the Blues in the first 2 minutes. They've had a couple of chances in there on Joseph. Now the Blues up the center. Shanahan lobs along one end and comes after it himself. Shanahan takes a hard hit from Zessel. Bob Rouse back of the net. Now working it out. Long lead pass to Zessel. But he's offside. Just crossed center when he picked it up. And he was in behind everybody when Rouse hit him with that long lead pass. But it was offside, and they bring it back. Bob Cole with Harry Neal in the gondola at Maple Leaf Gardens as the Leafs and the Blues start Game 1 of the Norris Final. No score in this first period. Sutter taken to the ice by Gill. And McCown back to the net for Toronto. Rich Sutter goes in to slam him. Pass, that was a good one to Gilmour. Borshevsky up there on the wing with him. He's in there for Gilmour. He tried to tip it in front of Joseph but missed it. Borshevsky without the helmet. Puck in over the Toronto line. Miller. Pass and dump to the ice. The Blues go in there on it though. McCown trying to take it away from Sutter. McCown slipped it into the corner and Gill fired it along the boards, and then Borshevsky shot it down the ice. No icing this time. 3.5 minutes into the opening period, no score. Butcher put it up for Emerson. He's coming in. Missed by a foot or two on that far side. Slapped back in onto the stick of Pearson. Rouse, good pass up to the middle of Vanderbilt, and he missed on the short side. Pretty good pace to start this hockey game. Vanderbilt center, Pearson, high shot, and he just missed. Here's Lefebvre now. Winds up the pass to Pearson. Back of the net, he's trying to center it and wiped out on the boards by Barron. He holds him there. Barron, number 34, trying to stop Pearson. He can't do it. Vanderbilt went off stride. Got the puck back though, and there he goes after it. Back of the net. He's a big, strong winger. Vanderbilt comes up with it. Along the boards, back into the corner for Eastwood, and he was hit. Pearson is there. Shanahan takes him in heavily on the boards. And he's slow getting up after that hit. Well, these two teams, we wondered if they'd be able to really turn it on in the early going, but they're doing just that. St. Louis with a long layoff, and of course Toronto coming off a gigantic high on that overtime win against Detroit. But they're going at it. The Blues on the attack now. In back of the net. Rouse took his man out of the play. And the Leafs are coming out. It is Gilmour to center with Anderson and Andrechuk trailing. Gilmour turning back. Now he finds it there. Gilmour coming in there. Backs off again. Well, he had a huge hole and decided to turn back. Gill and Anderson, the pass behind Anderson. Here's Gill. With Ella. He's got some room. Joseph gloved that high shot and left it for Zumbo. The Blues come out. Henneken, the defenseman, to center, and he ripped it in. Puck man played it ahead. Gilmour gets it out over the line. Andrechuk for Anderson. Anderson coming in for Toronto. Stick handle at the line. Two Blues collided, and the puck comes loose to center. Turning back was Bozon. And now Jeff Brown starts the Blues down ice again. Colin back. Lifted a high one for Foligno. Foligno's pass ahead. Clark at center. Wendell Clark gets away from a check. Comes in, but Colin was ahead of him on that play. And it is offside at the Blues line. Face off outside the St. Louis line. Nearing the 7-minute mark of period 1. No score. The Leafs shoot it in. Joseph handles the puck so well, and he slipped the pass into the corner quickly. It ended up going over the glass into the crowd, so the faceoff is going to be inside the Blues line.
Well, Brett Hull, who seemed to be disappointing and upset with how much he played and with whom he played as the season ended, got his act together in the playoffs. 8 points against Chicago, 5 of them goals. The playoffs have been magic for Hull, 12 goals in his last 12 games. And if he's hot and gets some chances, he could be the individual who could make the biggest difference in a St. Louis Blues victory. Mr. Stavro watching proudly, I'm sure, of his Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh, he has become a gigantic fan. You can't blame him. This has been a complete turnaround this season for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Fletcher, Burns, all the way through the club. Past the first round, here against the Blues in the second round. Clark coming out for Toronto. Pass off the boards, goes down to the Blues line, and Butcher stopped it. Here's Butcher getting across center, ran into Clark. Turning is Gilmour again. Boy, he seems to be pumped up a lot tonight. Flipped the pass toward the net. Then again, there have not been many nights where he's not pumped up. There's a high shot over the goal. Gilmour along the boards with Borshevsky. Gilmour has it again. Gilmour got loose and then was pinned by Jeff Brown. McCown stopped it at the blue line. Up for Butcher. He gets to center and played it in on the left wing and chased it. Brown slapped it in there. The Leafs get a chance to pick it up. And it's McCown. McCown turning away from Kevin Miller. Eastwood's pass goes by everyone inside the line. Andy Van Hellemond allowing them to go at it in the early stages. Nearing the 8-minute mark, first period, no score. Felsner gets back. Can't get the puck out. Emerson was stopped. Vanderbilt got it loose. It is center right in the press area. There's a chance for Allen right in front. Pearson. He's got Vanderbilt. Another shot. Penalty coming up against St. Louis. The Leafs still have the puck. Potvin out of the net. Scramble to Pearson. Vanderbilt back of the net. Vanderbilt going the other way. Now the pass to the corner. The Leafs are crowding the net. A shot by Allen. Vanderbilt threw it out front. Now Andy Van Hellemond will call the play. It is the first penalty of the hockey game. And when we come back, the Leafs go on the power play.
Well, the 3 young Leafs, Pearson, Vanderbilt, and Eastwood, have had 2 great shifts. Haven't scored, but they're the ones who drew this penalty. And the Leafs go on a power play against a very successful penalty-killing team. Allowed the Blackhawks 1 goal in 24 power play opportunities in the first round.
The Blues have always been one of the stronger teams while shorthanded. They can kill them off. Well, let's see what they do with the Leafs now. This is one department where Toronto wants to improve. That's for sure. Gill shoots it in. No score, first period. Leafs on a power play. And the Blues are going to clear the zone. Gill stopped it at center. Here's Allen getting the line. Shot it off wide of the net. Collin fired it around the goal, and the Blues were there. And there it goes all the way down the ice. Rick Sambo just slapped at it. 1:20 left in the penalty. Gill. He skates away from center. Right wing pass. Collin dropped it. Andrew Chuck slowed one. Joseph got the blocker on that. Gilmour keeps it in. Left it for Allen. For Gilmour again. Gilmour hangs on to it. Looks back to the line to Allen. Allen to Gill. His shot nowhere near the net. Gill coming in. Allen will stop it at the blue line. Now to the corner. Collin to Gilmour. Gilmour to Collin. Collin in the corner to Gilmour along the boards. Gilmour on the outside to Collin again. He missed it. And the Blues get a chance, but they don't move it by Dave Allen. Allen winds up, gives it to Collin. Side of the net. It is Gilmour. Can't get a shot. Gill turns. Allen just barely stopped that one. Collin coming in. Think the shot. Again, Cullen with it. 20 seconds left in the penalty. Here's Anderchuk. Just missed the far side. Gill winding up. No shot from him. Now Gill. Again the pass. Gill waits. Takes it. Penalty about up. The shot tipped in front, and the Blues have killed it off. They shoot it down the ice, and now the penalty is over. No score, first period. Just past the halfway mark. McCown being watched by Craig Janney. Zezel is on now, and he comes back. Borshevsky and Clark, the wingers. There's Clark. Here's Borshevsky. He gets over the line. Borshevsky stops on the boards to Zezel on his skate. Rolling in from Clark. He's covered. McCown stopped it. Good pressure by the Maple Leafs in this first period, but still no score in the game. Joseph trying to find it. The whistle goes. The puck was loose.
The jam play by Anderchuk and the power play worked during the season against St. Louis, and it nearly works again here. When Garth Butcher gets out to the hash marks to take Cullen, Anderchuk can walk out of the corner as well as any winger in the National League. Look for that play again on the next league power play.
Face off to the left of Curtis Joseph. No score, first period. 8:45 remaining. Leafs intercept the pass. Cullen turned. Threw it blindly to the far side, and now the Blues shoot it down the ice. Wilson coming in after McCown, but McCown was there in plenty of time, and that's another icing call against St. Louis.
Well, the biggest shot in the arm the Leafs got in Game 7 was the addition of Borshevsky back into the lineup. He's smart with the puck, he's got a good touch around the net, and he's got great anticipation. And he wouldn't have got that winning goal had he not thought, if I go to the net and Rouse puts it on my side of the net, I could end this game. I don't know whether he thought all that, but it looked like it. He was in a perfect spot to end a perfect game if you're a Leaf fan.
And the Blues win this face-off. Clear up the center and in again. Joseph missed that one. No Toronto player in sight though. Pass up to Foligno. Into the zone it goes. Barron turns around the goal for the Blues and starts back. Long pass. Intercepted. McCown though. Being watched by Lowry. Lowry goes in there against Osborne. Lowry goes down on one knee. Gets back up and takes the puck. Trying to center it. Now McCown takes over. McCown slapped it away from Bozon. Lino didn't see the high pass. Penalty coming up against Toronto. Two players collided at the blue line, Bozon and Osborne. And I think it'll be Osborne who'll get the penalty for tripping.
Osborne thought he had Bozon lined up for the hit. But when he got to him, the hit wasn't available. There it is there. Osborne goes for the puck and then sticks his right leg out. And with 7:50 to go in the first period, have to kill a penalty in the St. Louis Blues power play. 7 for 25 in round 1 against Chicago, and it was one of the reasons they're sitting here in the Norris Finals.
So Osborne in the penalty box, and the Blues now get their turn on a power play. Their first of the night. No score, first period, 7:50 remaining. And the Blues will have Janney, Shanahan, and of course Brett Hull. Brown and Emerson, the other two. And the face-off just inside the Leaf line. Here we go. Zezel won it. Boy, he has been great taking face-offs for the Maple Leafs in these playoffs. He won that one smartly, and the Blues are sent back. 1:45 now left on that penalty as they start out. Emerson to center ice. Comes over the Leaf line. He fell. There's Zezel again. And he'll send the Blues back after it. Brown will come back with Brett Hull. Jeff Brown takes it. 1:30 left in the penalty. Once again, the Blues line up. And they bring it to center. Emerson. He shot it in on the boards in the corner to fade. Back fast. Played it off the boards to the line. Emerson stopped Gilmour. Now Gilmour again. And he dumped it out to center ice. Emerson. Being watched by Gilmour. Shanahan is turning back. Gets up over center. Across the line. Back to the line. Hull. Hull can't get in. scramble for it. There he is again. By Gilmour. And he shoots it down the ice. Look at Joseph out to the blue line just about. Gilmour picked it up. Now Gilmour again gets a pass from Bird. Comes in. Gilmour hangs on to it. Along the boards, he's stopped by Emerson. 45 seconds left in the penalty. Janney moving up with Shanahan. Janney looking for Hall. He saw him, but missed him with the pass. They keep it in. Quintal played it in front of the net. Down to the corner and back to Hall at the line. Brown gets ready. Hall again, shot. He missed the goal with the shot. Here's Hall one more time. Brett Hall shot. Puck bands up. He was off to the right side, and the puck was rolling toward the goal line. And he saw it, and he made one leap for it.
Well, Brett Hull, who's known for his great shot, tried to lob a wrist shot in here as he saw a crowd in front of the Leaf net. Potvin makes the save. Doesn't exactly know where the puck is. It's Rouse's stick, actually. Potvin did make it, and Potvin got to it. Now there's a pass. You can see who he's trying to get it to, but it doesn't quite get to his teammate as Bob Rouse's stick deflected it wide. Potvin sharp, grabs it before any more damage could be done. I love those point men who don't wind up and blast it every time. Take a look and pass it in there every once in a while.
15 seconds left in the penalty. No score, first period. And 6:05 remaining. Zezel again winning the faceoff. And the puck is shot down on the ice by Dave Ellett. 5 seconds left in Osborne's penalty. The Blues are marching to center again. Brown, stop. Penalty over. The Leafs at full strength. Potvin leaving one for Lefebvre. Back to the net and from the other side. This is Ellett coming out. Gets up over the line to center, and that's where he'll shoot it in. High on the glass. Eastwood is up first. He's pinned on the boards. Here's a chance. Quick shot by Vanderbilt blocked. Eastwood with Pearson and Vanderbilt. Here's Pearson digging it out. He circles back toward the line. Now shoots it in back at the net. Vanderbilt going in. Trying to knock it away from Joseph. But the St. Louis Blues pick it up and they'll start back out with it. Ozon from Quintal and he shot it in. Lefebvre takes a hit. Moved the puck in time though. Vanderbilt and Eastwood there with Dave Ellett. It's kicked to the line and now out. One man back. They catch up to Pearson quickly, and Vanderbilt is heading off. 4:50 left in the opening period. No score. Here he comes. This is Gilmour. Time. Point center. Over the line. Just lost it as he tried to go in. 4:30 remaining in the first period. And the Blues go on the attack. Rick Sutter tried to center one. He's stopped. The Leafs are on it in their own zone. Gill starting one to Clark. Clark going in with a big move. Clark stopping, looking around, centered it, and the Blues recovering in front of the goaltender Curtis Joseph. Shanahan to center. Gets a long shot away. That was blocked by McCown. Wilson went after it. Now Shanahan gives chase, but it's Todd Gill who backs it up in his own zone. With 4 minutes left in the period, the Leafs are on the move again. Clark gets up over the St. Louis line. He centered it, and Brown takes it. Clark again, going away from Butcher. The pass in front, it comes back to Rouse. He's in with a shot. Block, rebound. It's cleared, but not out. Lefebvre shot, scrambled in front of the net. And Wilson's there, takes the pass from Janney. It's moved across center to Brown, and his long shot blocked by Potvin. 3:25 remaining. Here's Wilson getting in front, but he couldn't control it and did not get a shot on the net. Leafs shoot it away. And that's icing called against Toronto with 3:15 left in the period. Patrick Waugh. And he looked pretty hot last night to me, Harry, in that first game of the Adams final.
Yes, he did. He was strong. And he wasn't the last 4 games against Quebec. Montreal's going to be tough to beat if he's on the ball.
3:05 remaining in the first period. Toronto and St. Louis. McRae shoots one in. immediately goes to the bench. Anderson can't clear it out. A long shot, a fine stop by Potvin as Hedican ripped one from just inside the blue line. Felix Potvin saw it. He made a fine save. Here's Joseph coming out again. Anderson trying to pick it up, drive a shot before he could get set. The Blues, Rich Sutter takes a hit from McCown. 2.5 minutes left in the period, and the Leafs watch the Blues change and move it up to Andrichuk. Right wing pass for Anderson didn't work. Janney is coming in there. Janney hangs on to it, now centers it. Hall is covered in front of the net, and 3 Leafs start back. The pass by Anderson, he was looking the other way. Andrichuk tried to set him up. Anderson knifed it in over the line. Here's Hall looking for it. He's up, but Janney isn't. It is offside as Janney picked it up. 1:59 left in the period.
Well, one of the unsung heroes for the St. Louis Blues all season and in the playoffs, Bobby Bassin, number 28. A super pest, a phantom rooster, and he takes a shot from Lefebvre and looks like he hurt his arm. He goes to the bench. When this guy goes to the bench, he's hurt. He's a little guy, but he's as tough as nails. He's not going to show anybody he's hurt until he gets there. Now, he's either got a little pinched nerve in his neck or he hurt his shoulder. He's a tough cookie. And he'll be in Gilmour's hair if Bob Berry can arrange it.
No score, first period. Shots are 8-4 in favor of the Maple Leafs. Allen pounds it in as the Leafs win the draw again. Lowry stopped it with a skate, and now Zezel takes over, goes back to the net, centered it up front. And the shot by Osborne was deflected wide, back of the goal and into the corner for Zezel. Out front to Osborne. Not good contact made that time by Osborne. Osborne again centered it. Zezel ends up in the crease, and there might be a penalty against the Blues. Zezel apparently was nailed in front of the goaltender. And a penalty has been called. Now Zezel doesn't like it at all, and he skates away from the crowd.
Well, Peter Zezel has played some of his best hockey this year against St. Louis. He has 3 goals, 3 assists for 6 points, and he was flying to the net there and was tripped on the play. And Brett Hedigan is going to get a penalty with 1:34 left. Watch Zezel. There's a slash on him, but here's the penalty coming up here. Too bad he fell. He would have had a chance to take that pass out. Peter Zezel, when he gets to the top of his game in speed, his game improves about 80%, and he's there now.
1:34 left in the period. Another power play for the Maple Leafs. Their second of the night. No score. Leafs look to get on the board first, and a chance here to do it. But again, the Blues, very good penalty killing unit. And they'll send the Leafs back down the ice. Wilson, one of the better ones, number 18, is now going off. Lowry steps on. And up to center for Allen. Allen gets in over the line. He was bumped by Butcher. The Leafs are on the puck. Cullen is coming in. Right in there. Cullen scores for Toronto. And they lead 1-0.
Well, John Cullen walked off the side of the rink, right through a hole in the seam of the penalty killers. The 2 defensemen forward get up too far, and that has been available to the Leafs on both power plays. And Cullen just hangs onto the puck till Joseph is down. We saw Anderson try and walk out from here and nearly make it. Cullen does make it. He gets a bit of a break as the puck is going past the net, hits the St. Louis Blue defenseman's skate, comes up back on to Cullen's stick, and it's 1-0.
Toronto goal scored by number 19, John Cullen. Assist number 4, Dave Ellett, and number 23, Todd Gill. Time 19:03.
An assist on the goal by Cullen. Gill and Ellett. Leafs go in again. Berg now. That's off the blocker of Joseph. Zezel back of the net. Circles the goal. Here's Berg, and he can't get a shot. The Blues come out one man back. McCown is the only one back as Emerson comes in. And Potvin made the save. Brown following up. Couldn't direct it toward the net. 15 seconds left of the period. 2-on-1 for Toronto. In comes Cecil with Berg. And the pass to Berg didn't work. 19:03 was the time of the Leaf goal. As a long shot comes in for Potvin. It was a Leaf power play goal. The only one of the period. And the shots 12-6 in favor of the Maple Leafs.
A break right there as it hit Jeff Brown's skate and stays alive so he can put it in. Curtis Joseph displayed the form that I'm sure he showed the Chicago Blackhawks, keeping his team alive here at the end of one.
Ellett and Gill assisted on the Cullen goal. It was a power play goal by the Maple Leafs in 19:03. And the second period is underway. This is Eastwood, Vanderbilt, and Pearson for the Maple Leafs. Vanderbilt fired a shot. That was blocked by Joseph. Miller got to center ice for St. Louis. The Leafs break it up. That's Andrechuk turning. Coming in with Gill and Anderson. Anderson gets a shot away. Andrechuk slowly slammed it up the side of the net. Hull will pick it up in his own zone. A swift pass to Jeff Brown. And from center ice, he shoots it in, hoping Hull will get in for a shot. He did. Potvin had the angle on that. Gill to Andrechuk. And Andrechuk dropped it back as he took a hit. In back of the net, Dave Ellett for Toronto. Starting away, put it by Hull to the line. Hennigan stopped it, then lost it. Zombo's pass goes in. Janney stopped by Todd Gill. McRae going in to bump Gill on the boards. Now it's Gilmour for Toronto and Andrechuk going in, but Anderson on the right wing was offside.
Well, Andrechuk got one of those chances that he seems to get more of than most other players in this league, from right in front of the net. And it was kind of a rebound, and he turned around and tried to jam it in. There he goes to the net. The puck hits him or Brown, and Andrechuk, as usual, gets a stick on it, but he can't beat Joseph. Felix Potvin at the other end is tripped up right here by Basil McRae. No penalty and no damage done to Potvin.
Face-off just outside the St. Louis line. Toronto 1, St. Louis no score. Second period just underway. Minute 15 in. The Leafs were checking at center ice. They stay up there and cut off the Blues as they hit the red line. Now it's shot down the ice for an icing. So they'll bring it back inside the Leaf line. Back of the net. Coming up to Gilmour. Gilmour has to wait. And now he shoots it in. Zombo, the first one to pick it up around his own goal. Zombo saw Miller out there and he couldn't handle that pass. The fake saw Clark. Gilmour is on the puck again. Gilmour moving away, now centering it. And it comes right over to Kevin Miller. He's out to center ice. Miller turned around. And the Leafs come in. Borshevsky is on the backhand and can't Puck shot off the boards and back to the net it goes again. Sound ball against Borshevsky to Miller. Miller to center ice. Shoot it in. Potvin. The blocker down on that one. Borshevsky backing up. Masson chasing him. Trying to rub him out on the boards. And did not get all of them. Slides all the way down the ice. Jeff Brown for St. Louis. Eastwood and Vanderbilt hit him. There's Vanderbilt going after the puck again. Couldn't stop it at the blue line. Felsner got up there for St. Louis. And the Leafs, Dave Ellett, shot it away. It'll go the length of the ice. Joseph has to play it as Vanderbilt was showing a bit of hustle going in. Pearson holding it with a skate. Eastwood comes in to help. Pearson kicked it loose. Pearson again with the help of Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt trying to hit Eastwood, who was behind the goal. And the Blues being hemmed in now. Rouse takes a shot. It hit the leg of Emerson and went over the glass into the crowd. And the play is stopped. 20 degrees Celsius in Toronto today and a gorgeous spring day, this 3rd of May. And here's the night shot of this old lady, Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, where the Leafs are leading the St. Louis Blues 1-0. 3 minutes and 9 seconds into the second period. Cullen, a power play goal at 19:03 of the first. Allen and Gill, the two defensemen, drawing the assists on the goal by Cullen.
Andy Van Hellemond warning Lowry and Osborne to stop jockeying for possession or he'll give them both a penalty.
Zezel, Osborne, and Berg. It is Wilson for St. Louis. Lowry and Brett Hull. Rouse hurries back, and he's around the net to pick it up with Wilson coming in to forecheck. The Leafs get the puck out to center. Zezel works his way in. Dropped it. Osborne shot off a skate and wide of the net. Zezel given a rough time on that rush. Rouse pass in an open wing for Osborne. He's behind him, and the Blues shoot it in. Lowry trying to touch it. He won't. Ellett and Rouse beat him to it, and that's icing against the Blues.
Well, I mentioned the fact that Peter Zezel seems to be playing the best hockey of his career as a Toronto Maple Leaf. And here he fights off the St. Louis Blue defenseman for about 40 feet. Here it comes right here. In order to get possession of the puck and then drop it to Osborne. Osborne gets a good shot, but he can't get it through the 6 legs that were in front of Curtis Joseph. Peter Zezel has saved some of his best hockey for his against his old team, the St. Louis Blues.
Nearing the 4-minute mark of the second period. Still 1-0 Leafs. The Blues on the faceoff. Sutter fell, but he cleared the zone. Gill saw Anderson open. Anderson checked quickly, couldn't get the puck up to Cullen. Now Basson turns at center ice. Basson with a long shot. And Potvin looked comfortable going down to stop that one with the blocker. It was offside anyway.
St. Louis Blues having a little trouble getting going here, especially offensively. Curtis Joseph keeping him alive. Toronto Maple Leafs picking up right where they left off. Bob Berry knew it. I talked to him this morning, and he was worried sick about whether they'd be sharp or not tonight. He says, I'm not worried about my goaltender, but I'm worried about our offense.
From the faceoff. Potvin eyeing the puck for Gill. Here's Gilmour coming to center ice. Gilmour works it through, and he fell, trying to go through the two defensemen. Butcher caught up to him. The Blues get it out. Wilson trying to pick it up on McCown. It's dropped back in front of the net. Lowry with it. Rebound! On the goal post. Potvin made a big save. And then he got some help from the post. And Toronto is called for icing.
Well, Felix Potvin makes 2 big stops on good chances by St. Louis. The Blues finally broke through the Leaf defense here on a puck that was just dumped out of the zone, and Wilson ran a little interference, and here's the chance. The first stop there, and the rebound's a big fat one. And you're right, Bob, it wasn't a stop, it was the goalpost. But any goalie will tell you, when it hits the post, it's a stop. That's why they make goalposts. St. Louis comes close to tying it up. A big hello from Hockey Night in Canada to Scotty Morrison, who's in St. Michael's Hospital. He had a mild heart attack, Bob. He's feeling better. We're all cheering for you, Scotty.
You're darn right. We know he's watching. Chuck scooped the puck to center ice. Nearing the 5-minute mark, second period. The Blues, Janney trying to find room against Lefebvre. Puck hit the back of the net. The Blues can't keep it in. Hennigan is coming back. Gilmour watching him. Gilmour centered it. Gilmour won great anticipation. Hull trying to split the Leaf defense. Lefebvre shot it away. It got to the line. Here's Janney rolling it in. McRae. He's stopped by Potvin. McRae going high. And I'm sure that's their book. But Potvin got his arm up. Penalty coming up, St. Louis. McRae doesn't like the call. And he'll have 2 minutes or less to think about it.
Well, Basil McRae is always a thorn in the side of the opposition, and he is a feisty individual. We're going to take 2 minutes here, and here is the call. McRae hooks Gilmour right off his feet with a stick, and while Basil's sitting in the penalty box, I'm going to say hello to his grandfather, Hugh Henry, who's in the Aurelia Hospital trying to recover. Basil says, we're going to try and win this game without you, Hugh, but it's not going to be easy.
So there's McRae in the penalty box. It's a hooking call. 5:36, the time in the second period.
The most dangerous player on the St. Louis Blues, Bob Rouse, knows it, and he takes him into the corner where Hull can do nothing.
The Leafs have a power play goal. The only goal in this game so far by Collin in the first. They have a power play working again. Gill goes to the corner, back to the net, and then Gilmour gives it to him again. Borchevsky on the outside. He'll pass it around that 4-man box, and there's a shot. A save by Joseph. He moved quickly to stop that one. Gilmour back of the goal, trying to rattle it out front off the side of the net. The Leafs keep it in there, and it's dumped high to the corner. Gilmour off the boards to Ellett. Back to Gilmour. Didn't work. And the Blues clear the zone. Zombo intercepted and shot it away. 1:10 left to the penalty. 1-0, Toronto leading. Here's Gill coming out. The pass to Borchevsky. Up over the line. He stops. Gets it again. He lost it and got it back. Now Andrechuk fired it toward the net. Here's Ellett. And he lifted a high one. Hard and high off the glass. Borchevsky gives him another shot. Rebound! And it's knocked away by Joseph, and then Laurie backhands it down the ice. Andrechuk coming close. But it's still 1-0 Toronto. 30 seconds left in this power play. And the Leafs come up again looking for another goal. It is shot in. Ellett will have to touch it. He does. It would have been icing had he not gotten there. Now breakaway. Miller coming in. Right in. Stop. Huge save by Felix Potvin. The breakaway by Kevin Miller. 3 seconds left in the penalty. What a great chance for the Blues there. Snuffed out by Potvin. Penalty is over. The Blues are at full strength. Eastwood back to the net. Here comes Cullen to help. Cullen is bumped by McRae. McRae got the puck loose along the boards for Miller. Rouse kept it in for Cullen. Eastwood picked it up and gave it to Cullen again. But he can't get out front against Butcher. Eastwood. He's trying to center it. Gets back to Cullen. Coming out front, the pass right under the stick of Miller again. And he just shot it ahead. Wilson dumped it inside the Leaf line. 1-0 Toronto leading. Nearing the 9-minute mark of the second period. Rouse to center. Bounced it in. That was a dangerous looking shot. Curtis Joseph went down, and he smothered the puck.
Let's have a look and see how this breakaway got started for the Blues. Miller chips it past Gilmour, who stayed in. Miller comes in, got the puck out, tries to go to the lower right-hand corner. Potvin makes the save with his right foot.
Face off now to the left of Joseph. 1-0 Maple Leafs. And the Blues control on this face-off. Barron got it ahead. Janney skates across center, and coming in is Shanahan. And stopped by Felix Potvin. Good hard shot by Shanahan. Zazzle gets it loose. And he's skating to center down the right side. Over the line he goes, tipped it in Osborne! And he just missed. Berg checked off the puck by Hull. But it's grabbed by Zazzle. Here's Osborne again. Now Zazzle goes after it. He centered it! Oh, chance for Osborne! Still 1-0 Toronto. The Blues come up. It is Janney. Hull trying to go for the net. Tied up by Berg. It's centered. And Lefebvre is going to bring the puck out. Lefebvre to center ice. And he just rolls it into the St. Louis zone. And boy, they are all changing on the fly now. Nearing the halfway mark of the second period. And a great pace again. Everybody said to look for boring hockey. Nothing boring about this. Here's Clark. He's in there. Barshevsky. He's knocked to the ice. Gilmour centered it. Loose puck for McCown. Batted off his stick. Came out over the line. And the Blues shoot it to center ice. Barshevsky again to Clark. Clark. Stopped by Joseph. Clark going for the short side. Clark booked his man, allowing Gilmour to get it. He's nailed. Gilmour flat back of the goal. The Blues shoot it to the line, and they get it out. Hectic action down the second period. 1-0 Toronto. First game of the Norris final. McCown to Rouse. The defenseman going at it now. Up to Rouse. His shot. Rebound, a big one, and the Blues were back. Belzer lost it. Here's Turk. Tried to shoot it. Now back to the line. Rouse to Allen. Drives. And Joseph is there to hang on to it. It's loose again, and two Blues are up there. This is Emerson over the line, dropping it. Feltzner. Score! The shot tipped in front by Bozon. And the Blues tie it. What action here in the second period.
Well, as we often see, one team gets a great chance to score, and they don't score. And here's the Leaf opportunity. Joseph makes a great save. The three Leaf forwards are in deep, and they're trapped on the 3-on-2. And the 3-on-2 is perfectly executed. The drop pass to Feltzner, and over to Bozon, who just redirects it past Potvin. If you want one for your teaching videotape, how to execute a 3-on-2, save that baby.
Well, the Leafs had it all over the St. Louis Blues for a stretch of pretty close to a minute, maybe a bit more. And then the Blues looked very organized on a two-man break, and it was kept off with a goal. Scoring play was Bozon from Feltzner and Emerson. 10:55, the time of the tying goal. 1-1 now, 8:45 left to the second. Berg got it ahead, and it's Pearson charging in. Pearson centered it! It's in the net, but so is everything else. The goaltender, a couple of players, the puck, and look at this and stand by.
Well, the puck went in the net. The Leaf player was driven into net by the St. Louis Blue defenseman, but how Andy's going to sort this one out remains to be seen. Certainly the Leaf player going to the net had no chance of avoiding the collision. So I don't know what Andy's going to call here. He's talking to Curtis Joseph about it. Joseph doesn't seem to like the explanation.
The off-ice officials, Harry, are from Ottawa. The red light did not go on, and the referee will likely go to Al Daw, the video replay judge.
Now you can see the leaf forward has no opportunity except to go into the goalie being pushed in there, and it's underneath Joseph before the net comes off. So Andy Van Hellemond, going to the video goal judge, has to decide, and there's the play. Eastwood couldn't stop. Cantel's putting him in there. Did the puck go in? Yes, it's in long before the net comes off. And I wonder how the video goal judge is going to tell Andy what I think Andy thinks happened, because he did point as if it was a goal.
We're going to find out shortly. There's Andy thinking heavily and trying to hear properly. This is a very noisy building again tonight, Maple Leaf Gardens. They've all turned it up a notch or two.
Eastwood going to the net. Cantel not wanting him to go to the net. Certainly it wasn't kicked in, and certainly Eastwood was forced in, and certainly the puck was in. Van Hellemond getting the answer from upstairs. Boy, we've gone upstairs a lot in the playoffs. There's Brian Lewis giving the video goal judge a hand. If I was a video goal judge, I want to raise next year. They're coming to them every 2 or 3 times a game now.
Yes, well, they've looked at 2 or 3 angles, and I'm sure that is what is happening now. Pat Burns hopes it's a 2-1 lead. And of course, Bob Berry is hoping that Mr. Van Hellemond will put that phone down any second and make the sign for a face-off near the St. Louis Blues line. There's Bob Berry looking on anxiously, as you are at home, as we are here. And there's Brian Lewis still chatting with Andy Van Hellemond, the referee of tonight's hockey game. And I don't know what Andy is thinking now. Well, he's saying, guys, I gotta know.
Well, the only question is, in my opinion, did the puck go in before the net came off, and was Eastwood shoved in, or could he be avoided hitting Joseph?
Well, you're right, Harry. These are the 3 important variables. Was the puck in before the net was discharged? And in fact, was the player in there checked in there?
Well, we know one thing, he didn't kick it in, so you can rule that one out. And he wasn't standing in the crease by himself when it did go in.
We didn't see the puck ever. It was under Joseph. We did see Joseph in the net. So you assume, even though you should not assume, that the puck was across the line. There's Joseph, and he's very anxious about it all. And we're waiting now for the judge upstairs to hand down his ruling as they see it, having watched it, well, obviously 4 or 5 times now. It looks like Mr. Van Hellemond is ready to hang up. Yes, well, there's one phone down. Here's another down. Here's Van Hellemond, and he is saying
no goal, as the puck did not enter the net.
It didn't get in the net.
I find it hard to believe it didn't get in the net. It may not have got in the net before the goal post came off. But you're right, Bob. They could not see the puck in the net. We know, or we think we know, it's under Joseph. But you can't see the puck in the net at any time in that replay.
Well, it isn't outside the net as we look at that picture.
But that doesn't mean it's in the net.
All right.
You have to see it in there. Seeing is believing. It's 1-1.
It certainly is 1-1. That's the official.
Well, that was a tough call, though. I mean, any way you look at it, tough on the ice if you're Van Hellemond, and the video replays didn't help very much at all.
And that has got to happen sometime. Gary Mahar for the National Hockey League is on hand. Brian Lewis having gone over the thing, and Al Daw, the video replay judge. So a lot of heavyweights up there. And Andy Van Hellemond is satisfied. So is Bob Berry. Pat Burns and the Leafs are not. We're tied at 1. 8:38 left in the second period. Toronto McCown faked the shot. Now he's coming in, slides it in front of the net. Vanderbilt backhands it back of the goal to Pearson out front. Vanderbilt trying to pick it up, and he does. Eastwood now. He centered it. Pearson covered. Eastwood to Pearson. Pearson to the blue line with it. Lefebvre to hurry that shot. And the Blues can't get it out. Pearson going after it. There's Eastwood in front of the goal. And he hit the back of the net with the pass out. Blues get it up to center ice. Pearson bumped at the Blues line. McCown fires a pass in on the wing to Andrechuk. 7:55 remaining of the second period. The Blues have tied it here in the second. Bozon from Felsner and Emerson at 10:55. We'll be back. Bob Berry and Pat Burns in the heat of things again as the Stanley Cup playoffs continue, and here they are in the Norris final. The Blues against the Maple Leafs. First two games here, of course, then off to Missouri. Well, the next two at St. Louis. 7:35 left in the second period. The score tied at 1. Todd Gill. He was bumped hard, but off stride. But Alec got back. And the Leafs will bring it out. Cullen is skating to center. Nice pass for Anderson. He took it on the backhand and has to work it out front from the corner. Two Leafs are on it. Cullen again. Saw Anderson behind the goal. Cullen nearly collided with Anderson. They leave the puck. And Butcher for St. Louis. Pass ahead to Bob Basson, and he shot it down the ice. Potvin coming out. 1-1, 7 minutes left, second period. Cullen dumped one into the corner. He wants to get off, so does Anderson and Gill. They're changing as the Blues try to come out. They get the puck to center ice with Janney slapping it there. Andrechuk won't make this one, but icing has been waved off. And the Blues come back. Borshevsky is in there watching Zombo. Now Zombo's play. Henneken moving to center and lifted one from his own side of center ice. And no question about that one. That's icing against St. Louis as they fail to make a play before they hit center, and they bring it back.
Sylvain Lefebvre, one of 5 defensemen Coach Pat Burns decided to dress tonight as he did in Game 7 against Detroit. Some people may wonder about the risk of dressing 5. What if one gets hurt? What if 2 get long penalties? Mike Keenan in 1987 took a Philadelphia team to the 7th game of the Stanley Cup Finals using only 4 defensemen.
McCown, Lefebvre, Ellett, Gill, and Rouse. Bozon, the other forward for St. Louis. Rouse's shot. Down goes Joseph to kick that one out with the left pad. Bozon coming over center. Gets over the leaf line and tried Potvin from that distance. A blocker saved by Felix Potvin. And the Blues have to come back for it. Zombo up the center ice. Wilson will give chase as the puck was shot in. And Rouse gets it ahead. This is Zessel coming in. Zessel, back pass, goal! He missed with a high shot. Zessel again going after it. Berg had been set up to really walk into one, but he lifted it high. The Blues recover and skate out. Near center ice, Shanahan up, and a penalty coming up. On that trip by Osborne. Shanahan upended near center ice. And Osborne comes back to have a word with Shanahan. About what, I do not know. Now Osborne goes to the penalty box, and the Blues will have the man advantage.
Now that's the second neutral zone penalty for Mark Osborne tonight. Shanahan tries to stop and come back on the inside. And there's the trip, no doubt about it. Now, Lowry a winger is taking the face-off, but give him credit. He knows if you lose the draw, stay with the center. A lot of wingers go in there to take the draw for the center and forget that. So give Dave Lowry credit for thinking before he took the draw, not finding out after what he should do if he loses it.
5:31 left in the second period. This tripping penalty to Osborne coming down at 14:29. St. Louis 0 for 1 on the power play. Now have a chance to take the lead. It is 1-1 as the second period winds down. Emerson with Brown. They get together to bring it out. Hull is on the ice. So is Janney, of course. And they're up over the line. Leafs break it up in front of the net. Foligno. He's on there again. And he shoots it down the ice. Emerson around the net. Foligno skates in there. And here's Emerson. Pass to Janney. That's tipped ahead. Janney again picks it up. Gets away from McCown. Janney centered it. And the Leafs get it. That is Gilmour bumping with Shanahan. Here's Janney. Dropped it back. Brown slapped it into the corner, and it goes to the other side. And McCown can't get the puck out. He will the second time. Right down to Curtis Joseph. A minute left in the penalty. 1-1 the score. Jeff Brown. Long shot in off the boards. McCown away from Hull. Ripped the high one. That'll go into the crowd. And the faceoff will be inside the Leaf line.
You know, one penalty-killing talent that some teams don't seem to have, it's the ability to ice the puck when you have just a second to get your stick on it. The Leafs got themselves in trouble twice there, not being able to do it. Emerson comes back with a slash and hits Foligno in the glove. But when you wear those gardening gloves with no laces, this is what can happen to you. Nelson Emerson.
Mike Foligno used sparingly tonight, out killing a penalty, and he's on the bench to get a breather. Sassel will come out to try to win the face-off in the Leaf zone as the Blues have the man advantage, and he does against Miller, and the Leafs shoot it down the ice. 45 seconds left in the penalty. Osborne is in the penalty box. Leafs have outshot St. Louis 23-13. Up to center. St. Louis, Brown. Over the line with Miller trying to move in. Chopped away again. Good play by Rouse. Hull is forced to go back. 24 seconds left in the penalty. Kevin Miller coming in front of his own net, and now at the line to center is Felsner. He tried to go in. That's back out over the line. Two Blues are trapped in. Gilmour killing a few seconds. And now setting it up across center. Berg knew it. Couldn't play it. 4 seconds left in the penalty. Bozon coming in. Hull dropped it back to the line to Brown. Brown closing in. The shot deflected. Potvin looking around. But it's in his pads. It was deflected right in front of him. And he saw it and stopped it. 3:24 left in the second period. And we are tied at 1. The Leafs' first goal. Cullen in the opening period. Power play. Bozon at 10:55. This second tied it for the Blues. There is Eastwood in there. Heavy-duty forechecking by Pearson and Eastwood. Vanderbilt standing out in front of the net. Pearson didn't know it. He's around the goal himself. Trying to jam it in on the spin around. But Joseph saw it all the way and played it that way.
Well, these three young Leafs are all tall with very long reaches. And the race to the puck on the forecheck, a long reach helped. Pearson with long arms and a long stick, and helps him in a second as he tries to wrap around. Vanderbilt stays out occupying Cantel, and Pearson gets right around the corner but can't beat Curtis Joseph. These three young Maple Leafs who've been put together by Pat Burns just in Game 7 have looked good tonight.
3 minutes left in the second period. The Blues won. The Leafs won. Wilson will try to prevent Gilmour from winning this faceoff. And he does. Zombo goes around the net, gives it to Lowry. Lowry overskates it. Anderson shoots it back in for Andrechuk and Gilmour. Hedican takes it for St. Louis. Andrechuk takes him. Andrechuk with Gilmour standing behind the net. Andrechuk trying to shake away from Hedican. Tough job, but he does. And Gilmour pass to the line to McCown. McCown and Gilmour, the two defensemen. McCown keeps going with it. Now McCown back for Anderson. It's centered. Andrechuk is tied up by Wilson. Here's Anderson. He can't get loose. Back of the net, Andrechuk and Gilmour turning. Gilmour centered and Andrechuk. And this time there will be a penalty to the St. Louis Blues. Earlier, Wilson had Andrechuk tied up, and Wilson looked back at the referee, Andy Van Hellemond, and there was no call. Play continued. Now there is a call, and Hedican is going to get the penalty.
He had a hold of Anderson's stick. Or Andrechuk's stick, sorry. Look at this. And Andrechuk's trying to pull it out because you know Gilmour's going to get the puck out in front. He hasn't got his glove on it. He's got it under his arm and under his leg.
2 minutes for holding. Time 17:46.
A discreet hold, but one that couldn't fool Andy Van Hellemond.
17:46, the time of the holding call on Hedican. So Brett Hedican in the penalty box. The score tied 1-1, and 2:14 left to play in the second period. 1 for 3 in the power play tonight. Cullen's goal scored while the Blues were shorthanded. 19:03 in period 1. Gilmour, Andrechuk, Cullen, Ellen and Gill. It's kicked back to the line. Gill. Pass to Gilmour. On the outside, he moves toward the net. Hangs onto it. Takes a shot. And it's deflected into the crowd. I think it hit a St. Louis Blues stick. Therefore, the faceoff will be inside the line.
Doug Gilmour, one of the two former St. Louis Blues players on the Maple Leafs, Peter Zezel, the other one, is third in the all-time playoff St. Louis Blues scoring with 17 goals, 38 assists, and 55 points in 49 playoff games with the Blues. He trails Brett Hall and the leader, Bernie Fedorkin.
Gilmour. He's against Bob Besson this time. Shot along the boards. Cullen keeps it in. Gilmour gets loose, or tries to. Brown stopped him. Ellett will stop the puck to the blue line. Flipped it ahead. Here's Andrechuk to the side of the net for Cullen. Cullen left it for Andrechuk. Andrechuk gives it to Gilmour. He's back of the goal. Now to Gill. Drives it. Hit a skate. Gilmour gets it again. Knocked down. Made the play. Center. Here comes Ellett. No shot from Ellett. He backs off. Gill gives it to Ellett again. Slides it ahead. Cullen on the boards. Winding up. No shot. Gill. Yes! And that's ripped on the glass. It'll get all the way back inside the Leaf line. That will give the Blues a chance to change the penalty killers. 1 minute left in the penalty and 1:10 in the period. Pass ahead to Clark. In for Gilmour. Gilmour takes a hit from Zombo, but here's Cullen knocking it down. Turned. Here's McCown. Until there. Again. Rebound. And it's scooped away to the corner by Gilmour. Into the final minute. McCown. Faked the shot. Ellett. He passes in. Cullen in there. Can't jam it in, and the Blues a chance to move it out. It gets high over the head of Ellett down the ice. Clark back. Blues are changing. How many out there? They nearly got caught. The play goes right on. Clark comes in on the backhand. Doesn't shoot it. He falls back to the net. 25 seconds left of the period. Clark out front. Borchowski fan on it. Blues hanging on. Here's McCown. In for Clark. 16 seconds left of the period. Clark having a rough ride in there. Penalty is over. Shot in wide of the net. Here's Hedican. Took his man out of the play, and the Blues shoot it down the ice. No icing. And this period will end. There's a foul in the goal. And behind Felix Potvin. And another fine period. And with the Blues getting the only goal from Bozon at 10:55.
Well, this is the script that the St. Louis Blues used to eliminate Chicago 4 straight, give the opposition more scoring opportunities, give them significantly more shots on goal, but don't give them the advantage on the scoreboard.
And we're ready for the third period in Game 1 of the Norris Final. Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. Nice to have you with us, wherever you may be, coast to coast tonight. As Molson Hockey Night in Canada and its entire crew is delighted to welcome you for these Stanley Cup playoffs. Berg is ready to go now, over talking to Pat Burns. And Peter Zensel will come out with Osborne. Two teams at full strength starting the third. It'll be Basson with Rich Sutter and Kevin Miller for St. Louis. Gill comes back. He and Ellen are the Leaf defensemen. And Gill starting away. Pass comes to the line for Berg at center. Berg shoots it in. Jeff Brown goes back to the net. Stopped at the blue line by Allen. He takes a shot. It's deflected away from Osborne. McRae's pass. Hall stopped by Allen near center ice. Here's Berg again. Hall steals it from him. Brett Hall's pass in over the line. Emerson set it up. No shot from that far side by McRae. Leafs pick it up and come back out. Gilmour up over the St. Louis line, had it tapped away. And it's Emerson racing in for St. Louis. Emerson knocked down by McCown. And McCown shot the puck around the boards and out near the line. Shanahan tipped in front of Puckman. Saw that. Centered again. Andrechuk picked it up and gave it to Gilmour. Gilmour put one in. And Joseph stopped it and backhands it himself to center ice with a crowd coming at him. Appeared to know exactly what he was doing. Cut it out cleanly. There's Gilmour around the net with the pass. Shot across the goal mouth, and then McCown's shot is blocked. Gilmour on it. Zombo picks it up. Played it in off the boards behind the net. Shanahan for St. Louis was just happy to get it out to center ice. The Leafs bring it back in. Gilmour shoots it. He missed by 3 feet with that shot. Foligno knocked it loose for Andrechuk. Hedican covered him. Hedican takes the puck. The pass to Bozon. And ahead to Shanahan. Shanahan's weak shot. He's heading off now. And the Leafs are also changing. They nearly got caught, so it's shot down the ice by McCown. No icing. Quintel made it up near the line. 1-1 tie here nearing the 3-minute mark as Wilson comes in. Wilson winding up. He can't put the pass through. Now a second chance. It hit Rouse again. Lowry back to the goal. He's bumped. And Rouse's pass comes up for Borchevsky. He's over the line. Going in there. Cullen can't reach the pass. Now Foligno! Great save by Joseph on Foligno. He had lots of time to tee it up. Here's another chance for him. Joseph knifed that away with a stick. Boy, Curtis Joseph, so quick kicking out that left pad. Here's Allen to test it. And dribbled into him. And he hangs on to this one. Foligno with a glorious chance. Stopped by Curtis Joseph. This game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. Face off to the right of Curtis Joseph. Nearing the 4-minute mark of the third, it is 1-1. McRae moved up along the boards. Zensel trying to find it. It is Butcher coming in. Butcher trying to shot. Here's Osborne. Osborne passes over in front. Osborne! He can't find it in front of Curtis Joseph. Janney back in for St. Louis. Here's a shot. Great save by Puckman. Boy, did he look sharp kicking out that right pad on that shot. 1-1 the score. McCown drives one from outside the line. Joseph, very poised. Just took that one on the blocker calmly. It's into the crowd.
Well, Felix Potvin picking up where he left off with a brilliant effort in Saturday night's 7th game against Detroit. Win makes a nice stop with his right foot here on a hard shot by Jeff Brown from about 41 feet out. And the Leafs had a long 2-on-1 as the Blues got caught in a bad pinch. Osborne over to Gill. Now Gill, instead of shooting, tries to get it back, and it hit Jeff Brown's stick and bounced by Osborne, who was headed to the net.
3 minutes, 51 seconds into the third period. These two teams going at it tonight in Game 1 of the Norris Final. They're tied 1-1. Gilmour won the draw for Clark. Clark takes the puck off the boards and lost it. Felsner played it out to center, and it's shot in by Emerson. Felsner coming after it, but Lefebvre was there ahead of him. And back come the Leafs, led by Clark. Clark down the left side, poked it away from Zumbo. Zumbo caught up to him. Clark fell. Borshevsky trying to get it loose. It is Zumbo, had a stick lifted by Borshevsky, but the Blues get it ahead to Felsner. He stopped at the Maple Leaf blue line. Clark coming in for checking on Zumbo. Hedican played it up to center ice. The Blues move it in. Shanahan, nice play. Emerson fanned on it then as he tried to play it back. Back for Gilmour and Clark. Clark has some speed up, but he's cut off along the boards by Hedican. Felsner in his own zone. Moving up to center is Miller. He gets to the Leaf line and just rolled it in. They played 5 minutes of the third period. It is still tied 1-1. Joseph out of the net. Back there is Barron. Barron couldn't get it by Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt poked at it. Two Blues nearly got away. Miller chased back by Todd Gill. Gill turning. Pass ahead. Eastwood will pick it up. He's coming in with Pearson. Pearson overskates it. Sutter carries Pearson in on the boards. Here's Vanderbilt now getting loose. He tries his shot. Stopped by Joseph. He hangs onto it. And a lot of pushing and shoving. Well, that's the first punch I've seen thrown in a month.
This line of Eastwood, Pearson, and Vanderbilt have had 9 shots on goal in total. They've had 3 good chances to score, and the St. Louis Blues have had only 1 decent chance when these 3 are on. They're all big, they're all young, they're all enthusiastic, and the penalties are going to go to Pearson and Cantel. They keep the puck in. They've caused a lot of turnovers, and Vanderbilt takes a bad angle shot that Joseph handles easily, and then, of course, the problem starts, especially between number 12 in white and 33 in blue. Brett Hedigan, the rookie defenseman for the St. Louis Blues, shuts the door on Wendell Clark as Clark tries to beat him on the outside. Todd Gill, who's been a tower of power for the Leafs, makes a good play right here on Emerson. The stop and turn man is the defenseman's responsibility. The forwards are to go to the net with the offensive forwards. Well executed by the Leafs.
Minor penalties to Pearson and Quintal.
Rob Pearson,
Elbowing to Pearson, roughing against the St. Louis Blues player. Stefan Quintal. So that evens it up.
4 skaters against 4 for the first time in this game. We saw a fair amount of this in the Detroit series. A little more ice available to the skilled players.
The score is 1-1. Nearing the 6-minute mark of the third. Butcher goes back to the net. Pass stopped at the line by Lefebvre, and he dumped it in wide of the goal. Curtis away out. Gilmour trying to play one in there. Borshevsky back to the line. Lefebvre shot. That hit Brown, and it'll go into the crowd.
Well, Jeff Brown makes the save on a high shot from Sylvain Lefebvre. And of course, you can see the stick Curtis Joseph's broken. Joseph likes to come out of the net and handle the puck. And here, the stick breaks. He must have got it caught in the boards, so he held back to the net without a stick. Watch Jeff Brown continue on in front. The defensemen take the forwards on a 4-on-4, and Brown makes a save with his right shoulder. Jeff Brown, a dangerous customer, who's developed into an excellent defenseman for the St. Louis Blues. 33 playoff points in 35 playoff games with the Blues to break Rob Ramage's team record playoff points by a defenseman.
All right, a minute 40 seconds left in the penalties. 4 skaters assigned for now, with 14-11 left in the third period. They have been stingy on goals tonight. Hennigan goes around his own net. Gilmour stole it. Cuts out. Can't get a shot, though. Gilmour very dangerous. Wilson picks it up. Gilmour is still looking for it. Wilson is watching him. And the Blues get it out over the line. Gallant will bring it back in. Took a hit as he did. Push it off to the corner. Hennigan for St. Louis up to Wilson. Wilson skates to center. Zambo, the defenseman, is with him, and he dumped it into the lead zone. Potvin coming out. Put it by Wilson. Gilmour. The Magnet trying to come out. He might be hurt. Gilmour is slow getting up. And he's going off with a limp. Gilmour hit before he got to the line. And everybody in the Gardens holding their breath. Pat Burns furious over there. Here's a shot. Right on. And Joseph grabs it. Gilmour is on the Leaf bench. And here's Burns. He cannot understand what is happening.
Well, he thinks it's a knee. One of those knee-to-knee collisions. Gilmour almost got out of the way, and all his weight was on his left leg. In the opinion of Andy Van Hellemond, it's no penalty. There it is. He's pointing to his knee. And those knee-to-knee collisions are always dangerous. Gilmour got off under his own power. But you wouldn't expect anything else of a gritty Doug Gilmour. Let's have a look at it now. Gilmour tries to chip it by Brown, and Brown definitely comes out with the right leg and knocks Gilmour to the ice.
Brown turned the knee, as you saw in the replay, as Gilmour tried to fool him. He did fool him, rolling it along the boards and skating to the inside. And then out came the right knee and floored Gilmour. Knee went off limping.
And that's how Burns thinks of it. He's coming out to get on for a line change here. And Andy Van Hellemond seems unimpressed with Burns' outrage, but you can understand why Burns is upset. I mean, he's the Leaf meal ticket, Doug Gilmour, and he appears to be all right. At least he's on the bench. And Andy Van Hellemond watched the act, but wouldn't go along with Burns' attempt to talk him into a penalty. Now Burns has got 15,000 people trying to help Andy make his mind up. Too late.
We have 13-12 left in the period. And we'll keep an eye on the Leaf bench to see if Gilmour leaves. He's there now, but he definitely limped away after getting back up. And made it to the bench, and he's sitting on the bench at the far side now. Well, the Blues come out. Zessel had Hennigan tied up. Here's Emerson moving it in for St. Louis. It is rolled into Shanahan, his high shot. Off the arm of Potvin. And the Leafs Mark Osborne rolled it ahead. Zambo got it back. Hennigan again. Long pass into Shanahan. He dropped it back, and it came out again. Zessel upended. Referee Van Hellemond was bumped there. Pearson turns. And a long shot is blocked by Johnson. Osborne is snapped. There's everything going on behind the play. Osborne is going off. Shanahan was up there. Emerson was decked. And it was all while the Leafs were rushing down the ice. testy. Zombo. Gilmour comes in and ran into Zombo. Andy Van Hellemond has his arm up. I think there's going to be a penalty to Gilmour on the play. He left the bench and came out on a line change and took off after Zombo and hit him. But before that, Harry, down the ice while I was watching the play, I hope you were watching what was happening to my right in behind the play. But they were nailing each other up there.
Well, after Gilmour got hit, the Leafs came out with vengeance, and there's going to be a penalty, and Doug Gilmour's going to get it. Well, Bob, you asked what went on behind the play long before the penalty to Gilmour. And we're going to show you right here, just inside the Leaf blue line. Now the puck's taken up the ice. Van Hellemond's gone up the ice, and there's McCowan and Emerson. McCowan gives him a stick, no penalty there. And meanwhile, the play had gone all the way up to the other end. Now Emerson gets up without a stick, and he trips McCowan. Now Andy Van Hellemond has seen nothing of this, as the play is up behind the net, and that's where Gilmour got the penalty for taking a run at Zombo. So they're still sorting the penalties out. They have not put them on the scoreboard, so other than we know, Doug Gilmour's got one. We're not sure anyone else has.
McRae is in the penalty box with Anderson.
Now again, as the puck goes up the ice, it's a race for icing. Zombo gets to it first. On the icing, you see Joseph holding his hand up. But to take the icing away was not the intention of Gilmour. Now Gilmour sees there's his Brown, the guy that need him, and he goes after.
40, 2 minutes for charging. Toronto penalty to number 93, Doug Gilmour, 2 minutes for slashing. And number 9, Glenn Anderson, 5 minutes for spearing and the game misconduct.
Anderson is
Time
gone.
8:03.
Major spearing and a game misconduct.
2 minutes 40, 2 minutes charging. For Toronto, Doug Gilmour, 2 minutes slashing. Glenn Anderson, 5 minutes spearing and a game misconduct.
Anderson,
Time
the game
8:03.
misconduct for spearing. Major in a game. McRae drawing 2 minutes for boarding and another 2 minutes for charging. And Gilmour, a minor for slashing.
Looks to me like Swede Knox made the major call, as Clark has gone over to argue with him about it. Now the linesman can make a call on a 5-minute penalty for high sticking or spearing. And it appears that was Swede Knox's decision. Now we all know that Glenn Anderson has a reputation that he has earned over the years, a little careless with that stick. The Leafs have got themselves in a bit of a hole here with 11:57 to go in this 1-1 game in the third period. They're gonna, let's have a look and see Anderson, number 9 here at the top of the screen. There it is right there. Basil gets his hand in front to take the spear away. So really, Swede Knox had he almost got hit with it. No choice but to make that call. Not a very bright move by Anderson.
The game is tied 1-1. The Leafs have outshot St. Louis 36-16.
It appears Bob will have 4 against 4 skaters here for 2 minutes. Then Anderson's major penalty will kick in for 3.
Anderson, of course, is out of the game. Face off to the right of Potvin. Allen coming out from the corner. Gets as far as center before giving it to Andrechuk. He has to turn back from Lowry. Allen again, long pass. Eastwood dropped it back. Leafs pass it around. Up there is Eastwood. Andrechuk comes in. Andrechuk gets a quick shot away. And Joseph will smother this one. He held it. And 2 Blues come in there talking to the Leaf player, Eastwood, who came in quickly.
Well, Andrechuk not known for his speed, but he's got a fair pair of hands, and here he tries to just get the puck past the defenseman and let a quick shot go. And you can see Joseph had a little trouble with him. Eastwood comes in to see if Joseph's really got it or not. And this, of course, is always causes a bit of a stir. I noticed that Bob Berry in the 4-on-4 skater situation here, and you can't blame him, using Lowry and Wilson. He's saving his offensive people for the 3-minute power play he's going to have coming up in 1 minute and 33 seconds if there are no other penalties.
11:30 left in the third period. Jeff Brown for St. Louis. Wilson turns to his left. Here's Butcher. He comes to the line, gets to center, and fired one up to the leaf line. Lowry tied up. Eastwood takes it. Finds a bit of a hole to get up there. Then he ran into Butcher at the blue line and lost his stick. Gill was backing up. Ella takes it back to the net. Wilson in there watching him. Gill's pass to Eastwood. He took a look to center and saw it coming in on the rush to Gill. Shoots one, and that's booted back by Joseph. Two Blues move out. It is Miller coming up with the defenseman Butcher. Miller trying to go in himself, was knocked down to one knee. Got back up, but not in time to take it away. Vanderbilt is out. Vanderbilt coming up there. He passes to Gill and then gets it returned. Vanderbilt had a problem trying to put it into the corner, and they have to come back to center ice. Vanderbilt slipped it back inside his own line. Here's McCown. Up to Vanderbilt, nearly got in. He hopped away from Hedican. Vanderbilt fell, got back up, the puck came by him, and Wilson comes out for St. Louis. The pass to Hedican. He's going in on a sharp angle, now dropped it back to Wilson. Wilson to the line. Brown hammered one in back of the goal. The Blues looked for it in there. Lowry fell. Wilson didn't see it in time, and Brown kept it in for him. Wilson trying to center now. Moved it out front of the net. Got the hand down, and boy, what a save he made with the pass coming out ever so quickly. And Potvin had to be sharp to stop that one.
David Lowry, number 10 for the Blues, fired that puck. It was about a 4-foot shot, and Potvin caught it. Or Lowry shot it right into Potvin's glove. But Felix Potvin has been sharp tonight, not nearly as busy as Joseph. But watch this stop. Now Mandeville gets his back turned to Lowry and doesn't see him there. And Lowry steps in past him, and there's the puck, and there's the stop. It's dynamite when you're a player in front of the goal to turn your back on what's going on behind you because you're trying to see what's going on behind the net. Vanderbilt was lucky he wasn't burned on it. Thank you, Felix.
St. Louis now in a power play. They're looking for their first power play goal of this game. 2 minutes and 51 seconds left on the major penalty against Anderson.
St. Louis penalty, number 18, Ron Wilson, 2 minutes for roughing. Toronto penalty.
Let's have a look at this here. Now this is a 2-on-2, well played by the Leaf defenseman Manderville, who's filling in for Todd Gill, who was up the ice on a former rush. Manderville and Eastwood have played in critical situations and done very nicely.
Janney, Shanahan, Hull, Emerson, big guns for St. Louis. First save made by Potvin, the shot by Brown from the blue line. Emerson gave it to Hull, into Brown. Brown had to knock down the high pass, and from the corner it's centered back again. Brown to Hull. Hull doesn't shoot it. Emerson trying to move in. Emerson is checked. Here's Hull, and that's stopped by Potvin. He had that one labeled, but Potvin had the angle on him and made the stop.
Well, that's where Hull can burn you. This is the perfect situation for him. A long power play. And St. Louis moved the puck around, and quite often it comes back to Brett Hull, number 16. You have to be careful body checking when you're killing penalties. You're out of position if you happen to go down with the guy you hit. I know Berg likes the body check, but I caution him to be careful on that one, especially when this guy's on the ice.
9:24 remaining in the third. Toronto 1, St. Louis 1. The Blues on a power play. Another 2:27 left in that penalty against Anderson. Face off to the left of Potvin. McCown. He doesn't move it. Puck cleared to the line. Down the ice by Bird. Wilson of St. Louis. Rouse of the Maple Leafs. Offsetting. Roughing. Minor penalties. 9 minutes left in the third. And 2 minutes left in this power play for the Blues. Janney is stopped. Osborne nearly broke away with Gilmour. Shanahan centered one. The Leafs trying to pick it up in their own zone. They do. It's out there on 2-on-1. Gilmour and Osborne. Gilmour drives another shot. And that hit Shanahan. And Emerson was clipped going by. The net off the moorings in behind Curtis Joseph.
Pretty tough to second-guess Doug Gilmour, but I think he should have shot it on that play. He doesn't shoot the puck as much as you think he should, but he's a playmaker extraordinaire, and you're going to see here that he really has a decent shot. He shoots it there and can't get it by the defenseman. Now he's got another chance to shoot it and tries to make the pass. Jeff Brown made a nice defensive play, and he's more noted for his offensive skills. Curtis Joseph, 38 shots, allowed 1 goal. This masquerade that he is pulling off and started in the Chicago series is continuing here in the first game of this one.
Emerson running into the goalpost and knocking the net off behind Joseph. 8:37 left in the third, 1:40, and the penalty to the Leafs. 1-1 is the score. The face-off to the right of Joseph. Zezel. Kicked it loose. Grabbed by Bozon quickly. Quintel bringing it out for St. Louis. Comes to center. Shot it in on the boards. On the other side is Miller. Takes it on his skate. Gill was given a bump. Miller takes the loose puck. Now he's coming to the net. Takes the shot. Puck man a save. And he hangs on to it with Bozon there wrapping at his bags. And Gill giving him a push.
Well, Potvin with those nice soft pads. Didn't want a big rebound in a situation like that. As Miller shoots it from a bit of a bad angle, but he had some people between Potvin and the puck, so it was not a bad play at all. Bozon taking a little bit of a shove. Now there's the screen Miller's wanting. Bozon gets out of the way and allowed Potvin to make the save, but as I mentioned, no big fat rebound to give the St. Louis Blues a bonus chance to go ahead.
1:19 remaining in the penalty to Anderson. Shots are 38-20 in favor of Toronto. Potvin getting tested right here, though, on the St. Louis power play. Janney will try to win this faceoff. Shanahan is there with him. Hull on the other side. Brown and Emerson is the point man on the St. Louis power play. And here's Peter Zezel. From the faceoff, Zezel winning it. Around the net is Lefebvre, and he bounces one on the glass to get it down the ice. 1:10 left in the penalty. Brown back. The Blues looking to take the lead for the first time in the game. Cullen in the first, Bozon in the second. Scoreless here in the third. With 7:50 left. Zezel trying to move it out, can't. Shanahan comes in with the pass. They're trying to set up Hull, but he's on the boards on a bad angle for a shot at Potvin. Brown, Emerson. Brown again. Now Hull. And it's deflected by Lefebvre as they set up Hull as he skated back toward the slot and ripped the shot.
Nice play by Lefebvre. He anticipated that the puck was eventually going to come to Hull. He knew where Hull was, and that allowed him. Number 2, watch now. He knows where Hull is coming off the boards, and he gets out far enough so he can deflect the shot. Nice play by Sylvain Lefebvre. And Hull can burn you from here.
He ripped that one, had it all. But Lefebvre, as you say, Harry, the stick down, anticipated the play from the beginning. So the Leafs win the draw and get it down the ice. 30 seconds now remaining in the Anderson Major. He's out of the game for Spearing. 7:20 left in the period as Hall comes in. Stopping, intercepting. He's knocked out. Here's Osborne in. And he's stopped by Joseph. Gilmour went down. Osborne kept going. And there was Curtis Joseph. Osborne tied up from behind, though. Really didn't get a clean go at it. Here's Hall. In with Janney. That's intercepted as they tried to set up Brett Hull. The penalty is over. The Leafs are at full strength again. 6:40 left in the third period in a 1-1 tie. First game of the Norris final. Shot down the ice. McCown coming back. He takes it. Flipped it on the boards. Blues get it. Wilson set it up. Lowry shot. That in wide of the net. And the Leafs get it out as far as the line. Another shot in front. Blood back in. And again, he robs Lowry. So Blood is coming through for the Maple Leafs. 6:19 left in the third.
Pearson can't chip the pass around the boards out, and look at the chance David Lowry gets and the save Felix Potvin makes. You've got to stop the puck by the defenseman when they come around the boards.
Leafs win this draw inside their own blue line. Allen coming out with Gilmour and Andrechuk. The puck is shot in. Zombo is coming back. Basson on the boards, and he's stopped by Borshevsky. It's Sutter to center ice, trying to drill one by the defenseman. They went offside. Sutter took the shot outside the line, went in. Puck brought in behind him, then offside.
Well, Pat Burns has played Cullen and or Gilmour with Anderson when he was in the game, and Andrechuk to try and make it tough for Bob Berry to get this line that he's got out there. The Magpies, Rich Sutter, Bobby Basson, and Miller, who have all good speed, lots of grit, and good defensive awareness. But Burns makes a change here, so I think you'll see St. Louis change on the fly.
Cullen on a power play for Toronto scored in the first in 1903. Bozon and a three-man break for St. Louis at 10:55 of the second. 39-21 of the shots in favor of Toronto. The Blues, Basson can't keep the puck in. Up for Mike Foligno, made a good move to get in. Gets in on goal. Can't get the backhander on the rolling puck. Now he centers it. Clark is back to the net and leaves it there. Here's Foligno again. Foligno goes back at the goal. He is pinned by Quintel. Zazzle trying to shake off a check, and does. Here's Foligno again. Clark is in front of the goal. Foligno, the backhander, and down goes Curtis Joseph. Foligno having a big shift for the Maple Leafs as they come close again.
The Leafs cycling, that is controlling the puck behind the goal line in the offensive zone, has been pretty good tonight. Peter Zezel, a hard man to knock down, a very determined Mike Foligno, and a very powerful Wendell Clark. And they nearly cash in on it, but it's pretty good defensive zone coverage, except can't get through the crowd. And Foligno gets a chance.
The Blues and the Leafs in the first game of the Norris final, and 3 Blues are on this rush. But the move at the line by Philippe Bozon put his winger offside with 5:05 left in the third period.
Well, all the predictions were from the players, the coaches, the media, that this would be a long, low-scoring series. And it appears that's the way it's going to go. 5:05 to go in the third period, 1-1. Closing in on overtime, and a typical St. Louis game. The shots, 40 Toronto, 21 St. Louis. Curtis Joseph has been marvelous.
Face off just outside the Leaf blue line. Gilmour, Andrechuk, and Borshevsky. That is Gill back there with Ellett. The Leafs bring it out. Pass to Andreychuk does not work. Sambo got away from Borshevsky. He's back there with Hedican. And the pass comes off the boards and down the ice. Ellett comes back for it. Blues are changing. Ellett starts out. His pass hit escape, but Andreychuk was there. Now he lost it. And Ellett poked it to center. Andreychuk moving up with Gilmour offside. Gilmour anxious to get going as he picked up the pass. Curtis Joseph has 39 saves in this hockey game. Felix Potvin, 20 stops. And we'll think about both when it comes to choose the Molson 3 stars in tonight's hockey game. Potvin has been solid. He's been tested severely. 2 or 3 chances. Here's another coming up. And he stumped Hull again. Hull on the backhand and not as much steam on it as when he gets it on the forehand. But nevertheless, he was in there, and you know the sharpshooter that he is.
All that trouble started because the Leafs tried a soft cross-ice pass 3 feet outside their own blue line. And it ended up about 10 seconds later with Brett Hull, a backhander that's well stopped by Felix Potvin. You have the feeling, Bob, one mistake, a glaring error is going to decide this game.
Only 4:14 left in the third period. And Hull starting to log the ice time now. He was used in spots by Bob Berry in the first 2 periods. When you compare his ice time with Gilmour's ice time, well, he's on a lot now. Why? Because it's tied at 1. And the first game here at Maple Leaf Gardens, and Gilmour is out again. And he won the draw for Andreychuk. The Blues are going to make changes as the Leafs go back to start up the ice. Lefebvre shoots it from center with 4 minutes left in the third. Joseph missed that one, but no Leaf player could get in there quickly enough. Potvin stops this. 3:50 to play. Third period. 1-1 the score. Here's McCown. Up with Gilmour. McCown and shot. Picked up by Joseph. Partially screened, but he saw it in time. Butcher back to center. Fell. Clark backhands it in there for Gilmour. Gilmour fell. And it's just to poke the puck in back of the net, though. Bassett is turning. He went flying as he was hit. Clark didn't see it. The Blues bring it out. Felsner comes up over the Leaf line. Felsner centered it. Bassett trying to knock the high pass down. Now he has it. But he's pinned in on the boards. Bassett fighting for it. The Leafs get it. Rouse turns back of his own net. He's having a tough time shaking off Jeff. Lowry is there. Lowry comes around the goal. Tried to jam it in off the Leaf player, Borshevsky. Less than 3 minutes to go in the third period. In a 1-1 tie. McCown with Rouse, and Rouse lifts a high one which goes bouncing in over that goal line. And that is icing called against Toronto with 2 minutes and 42 seconds left to play in the third period.
Well, part of the reason the Leafs got fouled up in their own zone was not so much that the guy with the puck didn't know what to do with it. Nobody got in position, so he had an out. Now, you got to do that when you're in your own end. You can't just stand there and watch some guy in your team struggle. Get to an open spot so he can give you the puck. The Leafs didn't, and they turned it over, and Lowry nearly scored.
Lowry circled the net, tried to bank it in off Borshevsky, who came in late trying to check him. The 2 goaltenders, again, under pressure. The late going of this first game of the Norris final. Canadians defeated Buffalo last night in their first game of the Adams final. Vancouver ahead of LA 1-0 in their series. And Molson Hockey Night in Canada, the CBC network, will keep you posted as we roll on through May and June. 2:35 left to play. Third period. It is centered all the way back to the line, and Berg was there. 2 Leafs are trying to get on it. Cecil and Osborne. Cecil! Drill the shot. That's blocked by Joseph. And he's a solid-looking goaltender. There's no question about that. Curtis Joseph with the angle and took that hard shot from Cecil.
Stuck in his pads. They're trying to find the puck now. It's stuck in Joseph's pads, I think. Zezel won a game in overtime on the last Tuesday of the season, right from about here. This time, the puck is stopped by Joseph, and it's somewhere. I think it's in his equipment. Now they're frisking him. Joseph is undergoing a frisk in the crease as they're trying to find that puck. Peter Zezel has been strong for the Leafs tonight. You know, Joseph gives you that feeling, and goalies get this way sometime, and that is, here they're going to frisk Joseph again. He could be trying the hidden puck trick here. Here's the search going on in the crease. It's down in those pads. There it is. Sweet knocks.
A booming shot from Zezel, jammed right into the pad of Curtis Joseph. Solid shot and a solid save. We're still tied at 1. 2:24 left in the third period. And the Blues, with a face-off in their own zone, will have Wilson on there. Ron Wilson has been pretty sharp on these face-offs too. Mike Eastwood for the Maple Leafs. Eastwood, Vanderbilt, and Pearson. They've been causing a problem or two for the Blues today. So Ron Wilson, who's a decent checker. Hedican is parked to his right. The Leafs win the draw. Elliott gets a shot away, but it was deflected. Vanderbilt fell, trying to sweep the puck with his stick as he lay there. And now Gill in his own zone with Elliott. Elliott flipped it up over center. Vanderbilt can't find it. Pearson was checked at center ice, but he manages to shoot the puck in. The Leafs are changing. So the Blues come back. Now Brown trying to start Emerson on the rush. Shanahan trying to get loose. Gill has them all tied up along the boards. Leafs get it out. Osborne is up there. Berg was dumped inside the blue line. And the play is called. Osborne and Shanahan have something going for a good part of this evening. They're talking it up again over there.
Now Todd Gill did a nice job on the rush along the boards. He held up the St. Louis player Shanahan, but did not trip him. And Shanahan's a big, strong boy. Todd Gill playing the wrong side, so he's got the great leverage there. He takes a few elbows. Shanahan won't go down. Gill won't let go, and the puck squirts on beyond both of them.
1 minute and 43 seconds left in, here's that word for you, regulation time. 1-1, shot in by the Leafs. Joseph out of the net. Hammered on the glass. Gilmour stopped it at the blue line and kept it in there. There's Wendell Clark back to the goal. He's out front. Tried to wrap around a shot. Joseph had no problem stopping that. Was along the ice. And, not too much mustard on it. He held it.
Well, this has been a titanic defensive struggle in the St. Louis Blues. This is a typical playoff game for them. Wendell cuts out in front, and Brown runs into the back of the net and is a little slow getting to the front, but made the shot block, and Foligno was on the prowl for the rebound. Jeff Brown playing a strong game for the Blues.
Yes, he has. A minute 25 remaining in the third period. The Leafs want to make the last change. And Cullen comes out with Andrechuk and Borshevsky. It'll be Miller for St. Louis and Basson on the draw. Basson won it. Zambo takes it to the corner. Spins away from Borshevsky. And the Blues get out as far as center. Andrechuk right there to shoot it back in. Curtis Joseph back to the net, stopping it. 1:10 left in the third period. A 1-1 tie here in game 1 of the Norris final. A puck over the boards at the St. Louis bench. And the face-off will come inside that St. Louis blue line.
Well, in round 1 in the 93 NHL playoffs, 14 games went into overtime. We're 106 away from making it 15 here. And 4 teams eliminated their opponents in overtime. Remember, Toronto Saturday, Vancouver did it to Winnipeg, St. Louis to Chicago, and Buffalo to Boston. So overtime has been ever present in the 93 NHL playoffs.
1:06 left. And the face-off is inside the Blues line. Basson squaring off against Cullen. Basson of St. Louis We're told he's got to get the stick down first. Cullen ready, and they drop it in. Puck is out over the line. Sutter moving on it. Rich Sutter couldn't pick it up. Now we're in the final minute of the third period. Lefebvre hit his man. Borshevsky shot it to center. Long shot by Zombo, and that was a hard drive. Stopped by Potvin. It really didn't matter. Offside was called, but booming shot by Zombo.
The Leafs are saying it was an intentional offside, and the puck should go all the way down into the St. Louis Blues end for a faceoff. But Swede-Knox is not buying that argument.
47 seconds left. Regulation time. The Blues and the Leafs. And locked in a 1-1 tie. 42-22 are the shots now in favor of Toronto. The Blues will have Hull on, I'm sure. Here he comes. Wilson will be at center and Lowry on the left wing. As they get set for the face-off in between the two blue lines on the Leaf side of center ice. Zessel, Berg, and Osborne for Toronto. Puck comes to the Leaf defenseman Rouse. But it was batted back there on the hand pass. So another face-off near the Leaf line this time. 42.6 seconds left.
Well, Bob Berry playing a bit of a hunch here. He's got the big goal scorer Hull out there to see if he can end this in 42. But he's got two premier defensive players out there in Lowry and Wilson. So he's taking a chance, but he's hedging his bet. The Leafs are going with the Zessel line.
Allen and Rouse are the Leaf defensemen. Zombo and Hennigan for St. Louis. 1-1. 40 seconds remaining in regulation time. Here is Allen coming across center ice. A long shot. Off the glass. It bounces in behind the net. And Joseph steps back there to pick it up. And now he leaves it. And out for Janney. To center. Hull gets to the line. Shot wide of the net. Tipped anyway by Potvin. Here comes Brett Hull. He's going to the corner. Brown up there with him. He gave it to Brown, but it's knocked down the ice by Zessel. With 10 seconds remaining in regulation time, the Blues. Backing up is Zombo. Berg can't stop the high shot down the ice. No icing. Rouse back. Horn goes. And the game remains tied at 1 with the Leafs getting a goal in the first on a power play. Score by Cullen. Bozon tied it for St. Louis in the second. And no goals in the third.
Bob, we've been in overtime since the start of this game. The next goal was going to win it for ages, it appears. Both teams go to the dressing room in a well-played, hard-fought, very clean, except for one incident by Anderson game. And still, we don't know who the winner of Game 1 in this series is going to be. 15 minutes rest. Both teams will enjoy that, I'm sure.
And here we go. Overtime again. 1-1 after 60 minutes. And the crowd rising again as this one is dropped in for sudden death overtime. The Blues shoot it in. Gill picked it up and lost it to Bass, and he centered it. Hull leads up at the back. Hull is shaking his head. He looks away to the skies and says, I thought I had it there, but Potvin had it.
Well, the reverse is a good play, but you gotta have looked and seen your partner back there. Todd Gill doesn't. Brett Hull comes off the bench on a change on the fly, and Potvin takes the possible winner away from him.
That's 13 seconds into overtime when they got what they wanted. A pass to the stick of Brett Hull in the slot, mind you, at about 25 feet, and he ripped it at the Leaf net. And this guy, Felix Potvin, showed he had the nerves that you gotta have for goaltending. Well, all right, face-off to his right now. Close call for Toronto. The Blues nearly won it. Here's Brown, screen shot. It hit a skate in front of Potvin, bounced away from the net. Foligno does not get it out. McCown is turning around the goal. McCown decides to bring it out himself. Rolled a pass up along the boards. Foligno shot it in. The Leafs are ahead of him. But Andrechuk gets back to get the skate on the line so he can go in again now. The Blues back. Pass ahead. Miller off his stick. Tipped up to the St. Louis line. Rich Sutter turning for the Blues. The Blues going after it early. It appears it is shot now over the glass into the crowd. Gilmour giving Rich Sutter a shot. And Sutter comes back with a word or two. Foligno comes in to talk, and then he went off balance and fell. And Andy Van Hellemond is going to hand out a couple of penalties, I believe. It'll be Rich Sutter, and Foligno is heading over this way.
I have to wonder whether 4 skaters against 4 benefits either team more than the other. St. Louis has got the best offensive defenseman on either team in Jeff Brown. And quite often, the 4-on-4 situations, the defenseman is the most dangerous one of all. Here's the penalty, Rich Sutter.
Round penalty to number 71, Mike
Hull comes
Foligno.
along behind the face-off dot. Andrechuk rips his helmet off.
Sutter high sticking. Foligno unsportsmanlike conduct. At 51 seconds of overtime. Face off outside the Leaf line. Zazzle against Wilson. Hedican and Zombo are the St. Louis defensemen. Lefebvre and McCown for the Maple Leafs. Zazzle and Borshevsky will start out. They'll get as far as the line, and Hedican knocked it back in. Zazzle takes the pass on his skate. Had to back it up against Brett Hull. Now McCown. Through center ice. Borshevsky is knocked down by Hull. Puck is fired inside the Blues line. Hull takes the pass from Hedican and comes out. Brett Hull from center winding up. Just missed with that blistering shot. Here is Zazzle. Back in for Toronto, and Borshevsky is up there with him. It is Zazzle trying to go into the corner around to Zombo, but Big Zombo takes it. And he's back up the ice for St. Louis. Emerson takes the pass and had it poked away. Here's Gilmour. Gilmour coming in. He is in! And stopped by Joseph. What a brilliant play by Gilmour, though. And Joseph, another terrific save. Here in sudden dead overtime. It is shot down the ice. Icing will be called as Butcher goes back to touch it, and Gilmour had the crowd. But it goes to the line, a shot high over the net. It comes out to center ice. Gilmour is up there. Poked it along the line to Andrechuk. Andrechuk is forced back. Now the play goes to Willett, and he ripped the high one off the glass. The Blues get it ahead. Butcher is coming up over center, and he has Basson with him. Basson dropped it back to Hull, and Hull is stopped. Andrechuk falling. The Blues on it. Brown fired one across the goal mouth. Here's a lead pass for Gilmour. He takes it. And goes Gil with him. Gilmour to Gil, and it didn't work with Basson getting back. Gilmour lost the stick. The Blues are coming after one here. In over the line is Shanahan. He can't get a shot. Made the big move on the defenseman, has it again. Now Zombo, stopped by Potvin. There's Foligno. Kept in by Hedican. The Blues forcing again, but now Foligno dumping it away. Clark trying to get it out. No, somehow. Gilmour with him again. Clark going for the net. Can't reach it. Into the corner it goes. Terrific overtime now. One-on-one for the Blues. Rich Sutter going into McCown. McCown got a piece of the shot. Sutter kept it in. There's Gilmour nearing the 4-minute mark of overtime. First game of the Norris final. And a beauty for you tonight. Out over the line it comes. Slapped back in by Bozon. Rouse will come back. The Leafs and the Blues aren't changing. Lead pass again. Just missed Zezel. Joseph hangs on. And a smart move by Joseph. That is, in fact, icing. The goaltender was very cool.
I think Swede Knox is going to call it offside, Bob. As it was a no-win situation for Peter Zezel, but he didn't realize it. So although he touched the puck first, it's offside. It's offside. This is where the puck comes from. Or they're going to call it icing. I think Zezel touched it. But Swede Knox would never face it off at center ice and admit a possible error.
Well, Joseph was looking for icing all the way because he had a chance to play it. And he saw the linesman come back with the sign on. And he took a big chance, but he was very cool until his own man touched it. And icing, in fact, was the call. So it's to the right of Felix Potvin, nearing the 4-minute mark of overtime. And there have been plenty of scoring chances already.
They play so tightly all game, and then for 4 minutes in overtime, it's wide open.
Wilson on the face-off. Zezel for Toronto. Hull on the ice. And here we go. Puck is dropped in. Zezel doing footwork so well. Wins it again and gets it out. Near center, it's slapped in by Barron. Rouse up to Zezel. His pass gets in there. It is Osborne and Borshevsky trying to go in. Zezel back in the net. Borshevsky out front. Zezel now comes out, trying to backhand it toward the goal. Borshevsky giving chase. He's in the corner, leaving it for Zezel. Zezel there. Nobody in front of the net. Zezel trying to get away from Wilson, who pins him now. Zezel still working hard. Got loose. Wilson caught him again. Zezel got loose again. Zezel doing great work back there. Zezel! Work by Zezel. There he is again, centering it again. It is lifted over the glass into the crowd. And boy, are they working for a winning goal, both teams.
Well, Peter Zezel is exhausted after a display of puck control on the end of the rink with his feet and his stick, and ended up creating an excellent chance. This is possibly the best game I've ever seen Peter Zezel play. And this seemed to go on for about a half an hour. Wilson couldn't take him out. Wilson's smart, though. He's containing him. You don't have to pin him, but Zezel finally squirts away and comes out on the left side of the net. Right here.
Scores.
And look at the chance Osborne had.
Osborne going for the far side. Zezel going for a rest. And why not? Nearing the 5-minute mark of overtime in game one. Cullen won the draw, but the Blues pick it up and get out of the zone. It is Kevin Miller coming over the Leaf line. Miller in there with Bassett. The fade stopped him. Allen around the net. Poked the pass ahead. Stopped there, and the Blues put the Leafs back. The fade ripped it away for Pearson. That'll get out to the center ice area and over the glass near the penalty box. And again, it stopped.
It hit Ray Scampanella, the linesman, and went out of the rink, so the face-off ought to be right where the linesman was placed. Now, this has been a hectic pace here in overtime. Andy Van Hellemond wanting Bob Berry to make his decision about who's going to play a little faster. Pat Burns sits there, waits till the 5 St. Louis skaters get out, and then he makes his mind up as to who he's going to put out. Both teams have been well schooled in changing on the fly and who they're supposed to play against. and there have been very few poor changes tonight, and that is not easy. That's a team skill.
5 minutes, 3 seconds into overtime. Butcher stopped one near his own blue line, and he was nailed by Foligno as he did. Ellett comes back. Rich Sutter fell, and the Leafs get out. Foligno takes a pass at center, over the Blues line, throws it off for Gilmour. Here's Andrechuk, fanned on the shot. He did get in front, but couldn't get a shot away. Missed the puck completely. Pass up across center ice. The Blues can't move it deep. Foligno, a high one, hit the clock at center ice. And they call the play. It's getting him high.
It was a great play because it came right down for Dave Andrechuk. But of course, when the puck hits something like the clock, they have to blow the whistle. Andrechuk would have waltzed in on a dangerous rush. So the clock made the play.
Looking for a Hull again, but it's Emerson, Chaney, and Shanahan now for St. Louis. And the Leafs will counter with Orshevsky, Clark, and Gilmour.
Certainly the Leafs have shown no signs of fatigue after a bitter 7-game race with Detroit.
Face off, Toronto wins it, and McCown can't get it by Emerson. Gill will try it. Gill put it on the boards. Emerson nearly stopped that, but Gill gets loose. Gets over center with it and heads it off. Clark ripped the shot, and Joseph blocked that. Pass by Gilmour. Gill got back and picked that up for Clark. He was going the other way. Gilmour went in. Shanahan will come back for St. Louis. Hit at center by Clark, but he shot the puck in. McCown for Clark. He tipped it to center. He's trying to get off, and here's McCown for Gilmour. Gilmour coming in for the net. Gilmour in the slot. Back to the line. McCown's drive. And again, Joseph has all the angles figured, and he was there to stop that one.
Well, as I mentioned, that Joseph makes you think you're not going to get a legitimate goal on it. It's got to be one he can't see, or it's got to be a tip. The Leafs all head to the net. Gilmour makes a nice little pass to McCown. McCown does his job and gets it on the net, but no Leafs are in the line of the shot. So it's a routine stop for this fine goaltender.
They're coming up to 7 minutes of play in overtime. And you would think after 5 minutes they'd begin to settle back a bit in that defensive mode. But I don't see any sign of it yet. Both teams looking to keep it going. Gilmour stays on. Wilson on to watch him. Gilmour won it wrong. Ellett gets the shot. Puts that rebound off the outside of the post. Right in again. And down goes Joseph. The puck came loose, but the whistle had sounded. And the Leafs come very close to winning it. But we're still alive here in overtime.
Now remember the rule now. If the referee cannot see the puck, he blows the whistle. And sometimes it is on the other side of the goalie, and the referee can't see it. But this is a good opportunity for the Leafs. They win the draw. Foligno does a nice job, and it's a good stop there. They'll make another one here as Gilmour centers it. And now you can see that Andy Van Hellemond thought that in his line of sight that Joseph put his glove hand, his stick hand on the puck, but he really hadn't.
He could lose the game and be the game's first star. And up she goes from this crowd here at Maple Leaf Gardens. Face off to the right of Joseph. The rock-solid goaltender for the St. Louis Blues. 49 shots now by Toronto. Here's Basson coming out for the Blues. The pass through the middle. Miller on the play, gets set, drives it, rebound! And Ellett had his man tied up. Potvin scampering back in the net. Here's Miller, side of the net, the pass. Potvin looking for it. It's behind the goal. Butcher kept it in for St. Louis. Cecil trying to relieve the pressure. It is Pearson, unable to get it out. Kept in front. Miller of the pass. Brown the shot. And it went off a stick into the crowd up behind Felix Potvin, who I think was screened on that shot. He did not move. It hit a stick and took off up over his right shoulder.
Well, credit Dave Ellett with a play. He tied up the St. Louis player, and he couldn't get his stick loose to put a puck in a wide open net. Look at Ellett. He won't let him bring his stick back around to the front until the St. Louis player, Shanahan, I think, was well out of the scoring area. Now there Ellett, he's got him tied up and hangs on to him, doesn't let go. And by the time Shanahan recovers, Potvin is recovered. And Todd Gill makes the save, and it's still 1-1, and this has been an excellent overtime.
Face-off will be inside of the Leaf line. Rouse with McCown. Lowry and Janney in for checking. Hedican will come back for St. Louis. Put it off the boards and get it down the ice. Wilson was up there alone. The Leafs do not clear the puck. Wilson from the corner. Stopped by McCown. Goes on trying to center it. He's nailed by Gilmour and McCown. The Leafs hang on and get it out as the Blues press. So the Leafs had their turn or two, and now the Blues are getting a couple of shots at it. Fired on the boards, and now Andrechuk scooped it to center, but it'll be Zombo who will play it back in. Gilmour. He's coming out. Long pass to center. Foligno set it up for Andrechuk, and he couldn't move it. So Gilmour will try it again for McCown. He banked it on the boards to center. Andrechuk is striding in there. He's got a chance. Trying to put it back for Foligno, who now takes over. Foligno scooped it behind the net. Andrechuk gets away from a hit from Zombo. Zombo fired it on the boards, and it gets out and down the ice, and Ellett will have to hustle against Brett Hull. Lefebvre shot it to Foligno. Gilmour put it up, and Bird goes in. And hit a shot on Joseph. Not a good one. It rolled in there for the goaltender, but he was ready for that as Bird got a chance.
Well, I have 9 chances here in overtime. 5 for the Leafs and 4 for St. Louis. A deflected pass. It's onside because Foligno touched it. Berg tries to fight the blue defenseman off and can only get one hand on the stick. It's a nice play here by Hedigan to keep Berg from getting out in front with both hands.
This game gets bigger and bigger. The first game. It's centered. The Blues on it, bring it out. Pass down across the line by Barron. The Leafs get it. Foligno and Clark. Clark is in, offside. Foligno trying to control the puck to make this play, and Clark was anticipating a lead pass, which didn't come in time.
Thought that Foligno may throw it into the zone, and therefore he wanted to get a step on the back checker. Foligno held on just a second too long. When is the pace going to slow down? We are almost at the 70th minute. The shots 50-25 for the Leafs. The score 1-1. 11:05 left in the 4th period.
All right, a face-off outside the St. Louis line. Near center ice. Blues were chopping at it. But Cullen had fallen to the ice, and Basson was checking him. And the puck was underneath Cullen. Everybody is tired. And here we go. A hockey game. Well, it ain't too bad.
Curtis Joseph gained 47 shots, and they won in Chicago. We'll listen to Bob's favorite song here for a second.
Stop and Tom. And here, nearing the halfway mark of the first overtime period. Puck shot in. Leaves Zezel in there, bodied his man. Here's a chance for the Lefebvre. And it's scooped up by Joseph. Not a hard shot by Lefebvre. He almost fanned on it off the heel of his stick along the ice.
Now the puck was wobbling. And Peter Zezel makes another great play. Peter Zezel just muscles the St. Louis player out of the way, throws the pass out to Lefebvre. St. Louis changing on the fly there, and the puck was rolling. Lefebvre didn't get much of it.
Face-off will be to the left of Curtis Joseph.
Boy, that Zezel's been awesome tonight.
A man on a mission. You see the shot, kind of a knuckleball that bounced in front of Joseph, and he had the big catching glove there ready for it. Zezel stays on. Wilson on the face-off for St. Louis. 9:17 into overtime. They have a goal each. Leafs in the first, the Blues in the second. Zezel won the draw for Gill. A screen shot gloved by Joseph. He is seeing everything. That's his 51st save of the game.
Good play by Todd Gill. He just didn't fire it. He waited, moved a little bit to the side, right here, now watch. There it is, so he could get it on the net. Now he had to shoot it high because the St. Louis forward came out to block the shot, and they blocked a lot of shots. The big thing is get it through.
If anybody didn't see too many of the Chicago-St. Louis games and you wondered how the Blues did it, I think you got a clue here tonight. Curtis Joseph, now Pearson falls. Puck, he swept it in wide of the net. And the Blues just dump it away. Gill saw it, and he comes back. McCown didn't know where it was. Here's Pearson. Toronto moving up to center ice. Pearson with Zezel and Clark. Clark's shot doesn't get anywhere. And the Blues are on it quickly. Pass through center to Lowry. Lowry was nailed trying to go through the defense. McCown hit him. The Blues are in there, though. It's center! Oh, what a chance for Felsner. Another long shot. Dribbled wide of the net. Felsner again. Emerson takes it. Shanahan back to Emerson. Gilmour got back to cover up. Zombo, he stopped it. Hit a shot in there for Emerson. Centered, McCown covering. McCown very cool to play it up to Clark. Clark coming in with Pearson. Wendell Clark along the boards and driving for the net, stopping in there. Pearson goes around the net. Pearson can't center it. Here's Gilmour to pick it up, and Pearson there with him. Gilmour coming out. Gilmour center! Off the skate of Rouse and went wide. Gilmour again. He's out near the line, fires it in, a crowd of players in front. Turning. No shot from Pearson. One-on-one now. This is Bozon going in on Lefebvre. And Lefebvre got the stick down and deflected it high. I'll tell you, Harry, there had to be 7 at least, or 8 players in front of Joseph on that last blitz by Toronto.
I don't think there's any way you could have got the puck through, and if you had, Joseph certainly wouldn't have seen it. Bob Rouse makes a good play, a bit of a dangerous one, but if you don't take a chance, you're not going to win this game. Look where he is, and he'll go again in deep. And here comes Rouse on the right side, and give the rookie credit, Felsner, who covers the point man, took him all the way to the crease.
And Felsner thought he had his moment of glory as he was in front of Felix Potvin all along. 9:10 left in the first overtime period. A goal in the first by Cullen and a goal in the second by Bozon. 1-1. Leafs trying to get it out. Borshevsky poked it loose. Got it ahead to Andrechuk. He shot one in for Borshevsky. He picked it up and backhanded it back of the goal, and there's Andrechuk shooting it around the net, and Gilmour is on the ice again. He's out front. Can't get a shot. Where does Gilmour get the energy? He's been on, I'm sure, all about a minute and a half of this overtime. He's in there in front of the net now. Andrechuk! Foligno. Gilmour pumping the legs. Coming in. Gilmour! Stop! Foligno in. That's not the way. And a play is called. And oh my, oh my, oh my. The chances. Curtis Joseph injured on that last rush.
He got hit in the head with Mike Foligno's skate as Mike Foligno was turned around and falling, and Joseph has tried to get to the St. Louis bench. Now watch this. What a stop he makes here. Foligno's being turned around by the St. Louis Blue player and hits Joseph right in the head, and you can see Joseph's mask. Lucky his head isn't in it, falling off.
And he is now being assisted to the St. Louis bench.
Boy, and he's in tough shape, Bob.
The Leafs had a goal post. At the outside of the post, Curtis Joseph has been the hero of the night. 53 saves in this hockey game to 25 stops by Felix Potvin. Guy Hebert is the backup goalie for St. Louis. Now what a spot for him.
He's been on the bench enjoying the game. It's Garth Butcher that turns Foligno around, and look at Foligno's left leg. Hits Joseph right in the head. Joseph is on the bench. He appears to be recovering. I think he's trying to talk the trainer into going back. Guy Hebert is the backup goalie. He had an 8-8-2 record this year with a 3.67 goals against average.
I think they're going to take him to the St. Louis room. As you look at how it happened, look at Foligno's right skate. My goodness, off the face. The mask goes flying. Joseph is down. He is still on the ice, mind you, over there near the bench. And there's Foligno's right skate, the back of his skate, hitting the goaltender, Curtis Joseph, who has been magnificent tonight in goal for the St. Louis Blues. And it is Guy Hebert who is going to come in.
Andy Van Hellemond went over and told the St. Louis bench, get Joseph on the bench or to the dressing room. We've given you long enough here to find out whether he's hurt, and you have to put the backup goalie in. You can't stall around. Joseph can recover on the bench, and you can put him in at the end of at the first whistle if he, in fact, is ready to go.
There's Joseph. He's on the St. Louis bench.
Dave Anderchuk nearly ended it right here. He had Joseph beat, which hasn't happened very often tonight. Over the left arm, off the crossbar, and out.
Harry, Doug Gilmour. If we can get a shot, Mark, this is rather unorthodox of me. Forgive me, but if you can get a shot of Gilmour, he has played all but 39 seconds of this overtime period.
Now, what's he doing resting 39 seconds,
No,
Bob?
that's an error. We'll have to check that again because there's only 8:05 left. He's played 7:26 of the 11:55 of this overtime. That's a tremendous amount of time after 3 periods of hockey already. His total is 36. Goodness.
Well, his stamina, we all know about his skill as a player. But his stamina, he was the best player on either team in Game 7. Genius is the ability to reduce the complicated to the simple, and Doug Gilmour is perfectly described by that definition of the word genius.
The injury to Joseph, we are told, is under the chin, somewhere along the jaw. There you see the trainer attending to Curtis Joseph. And you're right, Harry, he can't wait to get this fixed and get back in. Guy Hebert is in for St. Louis now. In the first overtime period. Face off to the right of Hebert. And it's up against the glass, and Clark trying to squeeze around the net. He's coming out. Can't get a shot. It's poked off his stick. Hedican fired it away. And it's Miller who carries it out to center ice. Miller got as far as the late line and then had to shoot it in. Potvin coming out. Played it up to Cecil and stopped by Butcher. High shot off the glass, and it comes down to the Leaf player. Osborne missed it near center. Here comes Miller and Bassett. Miller trying to get in there to set one up. But it's poked to the line. Not out, though. Clark couldn't clear it away. Gill around the net. Takes a look, and he sees Miller coming after him. So he shot it down to the St. Louis line. 7:15 left to play in the first overtime. Here comes Janney. Janney gets it over the line with Lowry. Janney gets set. Coming in. Oh, Lowry. Fanned on it. He had the open net. The Leafs come back. Led by Clark and Osborne. Clark tried to drive one on Hebert. He hasn't had to make a save yet. Clark centering it. Gilmour right in. Loose puck. Hebert made a brilliant save. Another shot, that whistle wide. And it comes off the boards back down the ice. Well, they've got this place jumping tonight. Both teams. Hall in there. Here's a shot. What a save by Potvin on Lowry. What a save by Potvin. The Blues come at him again. Emerson is going in. Potvin stopped it on the short side. And it's lifted high down the ice by Andrechuk. This is unbelievable overtime here tonight at Maple Leaf Gardens. The Leafs nearly picked one up in there. Shanahan missed it. 6 minutes left in the first overtime. Here is Gilmour again. Gilmour left it up the line. Emerson is a great skater. If he can get away, he played it up to Belschner. Belschner shot off the blocker of Potvin. Lefebvre slapped at it. Stopped by Shanahan. Centered. Emerson turning, shooting. And Potvin stopped that. And he hangs on to it. Curtis Joseph apparently has gone through repairs. He'll give Guy Hebert a pat on the back. He made a couple of dandies.
He sure did. Well, this has been a phenomenal game. 55 to 28 are the shots. And I'm telling you, they are not long shots. Lowry got a great opportunity here. The Leafs failed to cover it. Lowry hangs onto it and then tries to go up. And Potvin puts a stick out and deflects it wide. Energy. Where are they getting the energy?
No idea. Well, here's Joseph. The cut repaired. Back in. Cut by the skate of Mike Foligno on a tremendous rush by the Maple Leafs. And Joseph is in again. 55 shots by the Maple Leafs. 28 by the Blues. Joseph back in. 5:49 left in the first overtime. Hull on the ice. Miller on the faceoff. Zessel for Toronto. From the draw, it comes to Hull. Can't get a shot through. Allen fired it high on the glass. And the Leafs get it out, but it hopped away from Mike Foligno. Shot back in by Kevin Miller. Here Bassett. Allen will bump him. In on the boards. Leafs get it to the line and out. It was pushed out by Zessel. He was tripped up trying to skate away with it. Here's Foligno taking the swift pass. The center Zessel in it goes. Burned his hand and had a stick lifted by the quick skating Emerson. He roared back, and here he is going the other way. Emerson can't get a shot. He's tied up by Ellen. A giveaway in the Leaf zone. The pass back to the line. Barron shot, hit a leg. That hurt Foligno. It gets out, and Butcher hammers it back in. Here comes Shanahan. And the Leafs are on it, and they get it up the center. This is Zessel once again. Zessel shot. Won't get to the net. It hit Butcher. Vanderbilt back there. Vanderbilt trying to center it. He's tied up. So it's Eastwood coming in. Eastwood trying to center now. He's in front. The play goes in front of the net, and the Blues are away with it. From center, Emerson's long shot. Potvin the save. The Blues change. The Leafs move up. Pearson gets to the line and in. A shot. That's blocked and goes back to the net. 4 minutes, 20 seconds left in the first overtime. Down to Zombo. Zombo gets up over the Leaf line. Dumped one in front of the net. And Potvin scrambles for it. And he hangs on as Gill is there to help the goaltender and make sure Lowry couldn't get near.
.11:25 here in Toronto. The second game of this series is almost tomorrow. The shots on goal, 56 Toronto, 30 St. Louis. The chances in overtime, by my calculation, 11 for the Leafs and 8 for the St. Louis Blues. And here is the last St. Louis Blue chance. It was tipped by Janney. The rebound controlled by Potvin before Lowry or Hull could get near it.
Now the Blues have had 30 shots. Potvin has allowed 1 goal. The Leafs have had 56 shots. Joseph, with a little help from Guy Hebert, give him full marks for coming off the bench in overtime. Figured he had a night off. And what a pressure cooker to come in.
I'm sure he was enjoying the game like you and I are, and all of a sudden you have to go in.
Leafs win the draw on their own zone. Lefebvre goes back to the net. Shot it for Clark. He didn't reach it. Rich Sutter went after it. It comes to the line. The Blues keep it in. Dangerous rush. It's fired into the side of the net. And Miller was tied up. Up for Toronto now. Pass to Rouse. Got by Clark at center. The Blues are on it. But Cullen took his man Basson out of the play. Here's Rouse. Looking for it in his own zone. Trying to put it by Brett Hull. Gets a second chance, and up is Borshevsky. He shoots the puck in. Cullen goes after it. Cullen along the boards trying to roll it into the corner. Borshevsky is in there. Takes it back to the net. Slides it out to Gill. Todd Gill, who took it on a skate, couldn't shoot it. Cullen on the other side missed it. Here's McCown. He played it into Clark. Back of the net. Out front it comes. Gill on the backhand, no shot. Now it's not good there. Joseph saw it, Clark didn't. Cullen and Clark. A pass. Gill shoots. Stopped by Joseph. What else is new? And the puck is cleared down the ice. 57 shots now by the Maple Leafs. 2:54 left in the first overtime. Here's Gill hammering one from center ice. Andrechuk moving up on it. It is Gilmour again, trying to clear it in there. 2 Blues get it out, and the Leafs shoot it back in. Brown back of the net. High one hit the glass and got to center ice. Ella turning around to find it. Got it back to Rouse. Rouse through the middle. Gilmour is up there, and he stopped it at center ice with his glove and gave it to Rouse, who now plays it to Ellett. Ellett lifted one into the St. Louis zone. For Mike Foligno, he centered it too far for Andrechuk. The Blues are on it. Emerson waiting for it at center, and he flipped it into the Leaf zone, and he's going off. Felsner went in after it. The Leafs back. Gilmour to Foligno. The pass to Andrechuk, coming up on Zombo. Now back to Gilmour. Shoots. Stopped by Joseph. Again, Foligno. And Joseph makes another save. Hang on to it this time, and let's get a respite.
Bob, do you remember that game we did in Washington? Four overtimes.
I knew you were thinking about that.
Are you starting to think we're going to head for another one of these? Andrechuk on the rush makes a lovely little pass over to the Leaf defenseman. Right here, a smart play by Todd Gill, or by Gilmour, and he shoots a 25-footer, but Joseph again gives you that impression. You're not getting one I can see.
Great to see a goalie playing like this, under pressure like this, and looking as great as this man does. Potvin has been sharp when called upon tonight, too. Don't forget that. He's had 30 shots, but the Leafs have had 59. And all but one of them stopped by Joseph. Hebert made one save. The goal he gave up was on a power play in the first. Bozon scored for St. Louis in the second. Long shot in on the net. Potvin, the blocker, save. The Leafs play it out. 1.5 minutes left in the first overtime. It's played from center ice, just dribbled in over the line by Osborne. Shot out by Barron, and back in. Pearson coming after it. The goaltender sees Pearson, and he holds it. Now he puts it back in play. 1:14 left in the first overtime, and the Blues move up. Barron can't get his legs going to get across center to move up to that one. It was cleared over the glass near the Leaf bench. And boy, They're up to 60 now.
The shot clock tells you the temperature outside and the temperature inside. This is tough. Tough on the coaches in overtime. Holding your breath every time the puck gets into your zone and cheering silently every time it gets in the opposing zone.
60-31. Another minute and 8 seconds. If we get by a minute and 8 seconds, we'll probably hit a total of 100. The way they've been going after it here. Brown's long shot. Potvin will smother this one. With 1 minute left in the first overtime.
Well, I am going to serve notice to every boss of all these people in Maple Leaf Gardens. They're going to be a little late for work tomorrow. And don't be too tough on them. They're enjoying one excellent hockey game.
I got news for you. The boss will be late. This boss will be here before the night is out, let me tell you. It's Mr. Stavro, owner of the Maple Leafs. A minute left. First overtime. The Blues, big face-off to the right of Potvin. Zezel against Wilson. And here we go. Hull and Laurie, the wingers for Wilson. Osborne and Andrechuk for Zezel. They drop it in, finally. Puck comes near the line and just rolls out. Wilson shoots it back in. 50 seconds remaining in the first overtime period. Now Maple Leafs clear it up to center ice. Tapped there by Gilmour for Zezel. Zezel gets in the slot. A shot hit Brown and bounced to the boards. Rouse kept it in for Gilmour. Gilmour moving up again. Gilmour gets set. Trying to shoot it toward the net. Andrechuk is there. It is centered. Borshevsky now coming out front. He goes back again. Borshevsky lost it to Brett Hull. Hull can't get it out. Ellen's shot blocked. Here's a chance. Gilmour! Stopped by Curtis Joseph. Kept in there. Back of the net. 15 seconds left. It is Rouse from the line. Nowhere near the net with that shot. It comes off the boards, and Wilson is going to send us into a second overtime as Ellett comes back to pick up the puck. And an icing called with just 1.7 seconds remaining. First time period, and a chance for a quick win of the draw and maybe one shot.
2.7 seconds, Vancouver and Winnipeg, and they had a half-hour delay to find out whether it went in or not.
Felix is leaving the net as we look at the last stop made by Curtis Joseph. Potvin is going to the Leaf bench.
Well, there's no way that the St. Louis Blues with 6 Leafs, unless they shot right off the draw, and even then, it couldn't get the length of the rink in 1.7 seconds, but it could get to the St. Louis net in 1.7. Peter Zezel's going to try and draw it to Andrechuk.
Well, we'll see what happens. Zezel undoubtedly will take the draw, and Bob Basson will do it for St. Louis. Andrechuk is poised. So is Gilmour, right behind Zezel. Swede Knox will be a while before he drops this one. A minute 7, or pardon me, a second, 0.7 remaining. So a little under 2 seconds. Puck is dropped in, and it's cleared away by the Blues, and the horn ends the first overtime period here in Toronto in Game 1 of the Norris Final. The only scoring in the game. 1 in the first, a power play by the Leafs. Cullen from Ellett and Gill at 19:03. Bozon assisted by Felsner and Emerson on a break at 10:55. No scoring in the third, no scoring in overtime. The shots, 61 by Toronto, 32 by St. Louis, but 1,000 scoring chances in this one. Bob Cole and Harry Neal back in the gondola for the second overtime period coming up. The Leafs got the first goal of the game in the opening period on a power play. Cullen at 19:03. Then Bozon at 10:55 of the second. And the two goalies have been on their heads ever since. 61 shots by Toronto and 32 by the St. Louis Blues.
Well, you look back in history, double overtime. St. Louis Blues are 6-1 when they've headed into double overtime. Toronto 7-6-1. March the 31st, 1951, a game ended 1-1. They had to stop it because the players had to catch the train to get to the next game.
All right, Andy Van Hellemond comes to center ice. And the suspense continues. Game 1 of the Norris final is still up for grabs. Approaching midnight Eastern time here in Toronto. Butcher for St. Louis. His shotting stopped by Gill. Borshevsky played it in. Zezel and Osborne come in after it. Butcher around the net. They're getting their money's worth here tonight at Maple Leaf Gardens. Elliott will come back. And that's an icing call against St. Louis.
Well, Pat Burns and his Maple Leafs didn't have much time to recover to start this series. And they're not going to have much time to recover to play game 2.
Toronto carrying out shots St. Louis 19-10 in the first overtime period, 16-8 in the third period, 15-8 in the second, and 11-6 in the opening period.
And in the first overtime on the chances to score, Toronto had 12 and St. Louis 8. The chances to score 39-25 Toronto.
Gilmour winning the draw, and going after it was Andrechuk, but he was checked in time. St. Louis Blues get it up there for Rich Sutter. He tried a long shot. Punt made the save. Off the boards into the corner, Gilmour. Gill starts out. Takes the pass at center and then lost it again. Rich Sutter turning. Dumped it ahead. Gill knocked it down. Some open ice. The Blues were changing. Gill squeezing in on the boards against Sambo. Gill centered it. And it was poked away by Joseph. And then the Blues shoot it down the ice. Icing waved off, so Potvin will play. Now the Blues get to make the changes they tried to make a moment ago as the Leafs were out. Gilmour, a pass in a little too far for Borshevsky. Blues do not clear it right away. Brown shot it by Andrechuk to center. McCown played it up to Andrechuk, but he'll be stopped there by Felsner. Felsner repped at it. And Gilmour takes it. Faked his way to the line. Shot it to the corner. Given a light bump by Felsner as he did. Minute 40 seconds into the second overtime. A little more cautious, I detect, starting this second overtime period.
Well, certainly compared to the first, where the first 5 minutes in the first overtime, it was trading great chances, trading good rushes. Here, it's dump it out of your own zone and get it back in deep to the other team's zone. Remember, the Leafs, 5 defensemen is all they dress tonight. And so you have to know that that's a lot of ice time for the 5 Leaf defensemen. The St. Louis Blues have been going with 6.
Toronto comes out with Eastwood, Pearson, and Berg, and they're going to change. Berg goes off, and Clark takes his spot. And the Blues will have Wilson. So far, Brett Hall remains on the bench. Wilson on the draw. Bozon is there with him. Lowry on the other wing. Here we go. Comes back to the line. Round shot. Picked away by Joseph. Eastwood racing to the boards to pick it up, and he does. Wilson, though, tough checker. He's all over him. The Leafs get it to the line, and it comes out over. Shot back in by Allen. Joseph back there for Quintal. And the Blues dump it through center ice. Eastwood didn't play it. Allen did. And he shot it in there again. It hit the side of the net, bounced high. And the Blues are back to pick it up. And here they come. Lowry takes it at center. Coming up on the play, Janney going in, and Putman makes the save. As Janney looked very dangerous going in on that rush, and he played it toward the net with Barron and Bozon in on the play, and Barron came close.
Well, it was a neat little play by a creative player in Janney as he slides the puck through, and it was tipped but not passed. Potvin, number 34, Murray Barron, roaring in as a defenseman on the rush. So the Blues had four skaters. One of them a defenseman on the rush. Potvin thwarted them.
62-34 are the shots at this point. 2:27 into a second overtime period in game one. Last change for the Leafs. It'll be Gilmour against Janney on the draw. Gilmour won it, and it's Todd Gill straight up the ice to the blue line. Gilmour takes the pass and shoots it from center. Raffles on the boards. Borshevsky couldn't stop it. Gill again, 3 Blues chasing him, and Gill fires it in. There's Gilmour and Borshevsky. Borshevsky penny for it. Shot rebound. Andrechuk, 2 great chances. Scramble for it, and it's still out of there. Into the corner, Andrechuk had a great chance, and then another. McCown kept it in. McCown's drive. A high riser on the glass, stopped on the other side by Gill. Gilmour back in the net. Andrechuk in front with Borshevsky. It is Gilmour waiting around the net. Waiting, he's open. Gilmour! Solo job! And he's won it in a second overtime period. How about that? Tonight for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Well, Gilmour faked him, going right, going left, going right, and Joseph finally couldn't keep up to him, and he walked out from behind the net and put it in. The best player ends the best game in the best fashion right here. I'm going left. No, I'm going right. And Joseph's going the wrong way, and Gilmour slides it in for the winning goal in the second overtime, and the Leafs go ahead in the series 1-0.
3 minutes and 16 seconds to be precise in a second overtime period. And this crowd at Maple Leaf Gardens is wild again. Is there any stop to the drama that this Maple Leaf team keeps coming up with? Well, they've won the first game of the Norris final.
Doug Gilmour. Assist number 23,
second
Todd
overtime. 2-1. The goal by Gilmour. 3:16.
In his first full season as a Leaf, Doug Gilmour had a breakout year. He tallied 127 points, a team record, captured the Selke Trophy, and was named runner-up for the Hart. After a wild 7-game series with Detroit, the Leafs faced Gilmour's former team, the St. Louis Blues, in the second round. Regular season accolades aside, his double overtime winner in Game 1 is arguably the most memorable moment from his most prolific campaign. The goal drew adoration from fans and cemented his place as a Leafs legend. Gilmour would remain a fan favorite, captain the franchise for 3 years, and in 2009 have his number 93 drawn to the rafters.